Celtics. WBCFM HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Listening Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Essential Sports Hub headline. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots players have today off. They'll be back at practice tomorrow and will visit the Denver Broncos this Sunday in the AFC Championship game. Wide receiver Mac Hollins could return for Mike Vrabel in this one, but he's not sure about that yet.
Still working through everything with some of those guys that could be back. Josh Farmer could be eligible to come back, as well as Mac, but those aren't decisions that we've made yet.
The Broncos yesterday opened up the 21-day window on running back J.K. Dobbins, who suffered a bad foot injury in early November. In other NFL news, Miami yesterday hired former Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley as their new head coach. And then last night, Tennessee hired former Jets head coach turned San Francisco assistant Robert Saleh. In college football news, Indiana won their first ever national championship last night. They beat Miami 27-21. Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza's 12-yard touchdown run on fourth down put the Hoosiers ahead to stay. Celtics lost in Detroit 104-103. Jaylen Brown scored a game-high 32 points, but he missed a fall away at the buzzer that would have won it. Celtics split their four-game road trip. They're back home tomorrow night to play Indiana. Brown was also voted an NBA All-Star starter yesterday for the first time in his career. And the Bruins will be in Dallas tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Papa Gino's. New England's favorite pizza is now Drake May's favorite pizza. Drake's favorite is the plain cheese pizza. So in honor of number 10, when you buy a large cheese pizza from Papa Gino's, you get another large cheese pizza for just $10. Drake May and Papa Gino's, the perfect New England pairing. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
This is what happens when analysts...
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, 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 flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
And I have their names right here. Let's just say their names. Mina, Ryan, Hannah, Dan, and Marcus. What a disgraceful display of analysis. I'm sorry.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Town Fair Tires Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. That is Dendero from the post game. He called in yesterday, and someone said to me, Dendero and Phil Perry 2, Fred 0.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're referring to my very controversial conversation with Phil about his lack of knowledge being a musician in Washington, D.C. about
Controversy.
the Discord House, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. The people, and they felt almost slighted themselves because they were like, well, I don't know what the Discord House is. I said, you didn't play in a band in D.C. Inexcusable. But then what happened is Dendero called in yesterday at the end of the show. And I don't really know why, but nonetheless, that happened. John was very mean to him.
Well, to give you a little cold serving of something, he wanted to serve it up, revenge.
Yeah, best served hot.
Yeah, like
hot take style.
You all picked the Texans.
I don't know. He wanted to host a show with you. And I don't know if he could handle it. I mean, he has, by his own admission, elite level intensity. So
That is true.
I don't know. I don't know if you could do that. And I told you that I wanted to take that day off because I just don't think there'd be any room for me. I mean, he has enough hot sports takes for both of us. I mean, he's twice as good. So I mean, you'd have your hands full even if I wasn't here.
Well, I'd have to take a back seat.
Yeah.
I can't match that intensity, especially at 6 o'clock in the morning. It would be very difficult for me to match that intensity.
Mm-hmm.
I would. I don't have that list of grievances. I mean, I certainly the NFL Live people's predictions do send me into a frenzy when they pick against the team I like.
Mina, Ryan, Hannah, Dan, and Marcus.
They do. When I was a kid, only Jimmy the Greek did picks, so like there wasn't all this gambling stuff on TV. Obviously,
He had some good ideas.
yeah. I mean, he said that black people were genetically through slavery bred to be better athletes.
The better athlete.
Yes. he felt the need to say it on TV, which is the real interesting thing. Is that these are all thoughts he might have had, but then he was like, it's time to share them on national television.
He may have gotten away with it if he had said blacks are better athletes. Probably not. But I believe he said the black is the better athlete. And that rubbed people the wrong way.
I don't know if
Imagine.
And by the way, it wasn't so easy to offend back then based on race stuff. Like it was a little more difficult back then. You had to really say something dumb. But, yeah, he got fired for that. But he was pretty old at that time, so it was all right.
Yeah.
But, people didn't really talk about it when I was a kid. So since people have been making predictions, I've been an adult, and I've really never taken much heed in predictions. I don't. I mean, if anyone could predict games correctly, there would be no gambling. I mean, that's the whole point of it, is that if you're picking against the spread, that's incredibly difficult to do. I mean, there are some people at this station that are, hitting 90%. I thought about that. I thought about what we've heard about people that, like, gamble, okay? So, like, you gamble on sports. It's, like, what you're super into. Say you spend, like, a good – we've had people come on and say they're experts. Like, they're expert sports gamblers.
Yeah.
So say that requires 8 hours of work a day, and say that you hit on 55% of your bets.
Yes.
If you are betting $100,000 a year total, and I know units get spread differently, say you make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, but you're devoting 8 hours a day. There's no way you make $200,000. Say you make $100,000 a year, $80,000 a year, but you're spending 8 hours a day, and it's also way up and down. So because there'll be years where you don't make any money.
I don't know how they do it anymore with the online gambling and all these places to get the different lines. Years ago, there was I read about this guy who was a professional gambler in Las Vegas. And even this guy said, no, I don't know anything more or less about the games. What he did was he shopped lines at different casinos. And he had runners going to different casinos, placing bets, and they would shop the lines and get the better lines. And all these guys who are, or at least this guy, and I think a lot like him, as much as they were professional gamblers, they were essentially making book. And they would shop their bets and they would take other action, and it's not so much about knowing the game.
Okay, so they were taking action. Yeah, but then that makes money. Yeah, I had friends I was out with Saturday night that like saw the coin toss. They could get into the book after the coin toss to bet the first half, and that's like a big thing they're fans of. Like if they have like an overseas book where you can get in, like after the coin toss to bet the first half, and apparently that hits most of the time.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that if you invested in the market last year, you would have gotten over a 10% return.
Right.
So it seems like.
Wait, do you really have to know your stocks?
No. See, you could just invest in the S&P 500
Throw
even.
it into a mutual fund, let someone else, and pay the fees.
Right. Or you could have a financial advisor, and they don't necessarily charge a great deal of money, certainly not into that percentage range, and you could just return 10%, and then that would keep, you would keep accruing money on top of it. Like,
Right.
so you would add 10%, and then that would add 10%, and then that would add 10%. Like, there's ways in the country to make money that don't require because you would probably have a job, right? But then you would be spending 6-8 hours a day studying gambling to return 5%.
Well, the guys like R.J. Bell, who I like, and I think he's a good guest, and he was always fun to talk to, and he knew, the lines, and he had all the insights as to why the lines were what they were. Even he, as a professional gambler, I think made a good deal of his money as setting the line for the AP. That was, what he and his guys did, and doing radio shows and whatever his podcasts were. So if he were to do all that stuff and then take that money and, like you say, Fred, just invest it in the market, well, you don't have to sweat out all this stuff, and it might be fun. Fine, set a little aside to gamble with, but that doesn't have to be how you get a 5% return on your investment. You can do more than twice that well just by throwing it into the stock market.
Right, and if you wanted to be ultra conservative, you could get like a 4.5 return on like a CD. So I don't really understand.
For frickin' Apple savings account.
So you don't
They're doing 5% on those.
So you don't really. It just seems like an awful lot of work for a very little return. Unless you're just obsessed with it, and then that's really a hobby. But then I don't want to hear about how much money you're making, right? Like it's fraught. Even for the best people, it's fraught with opportunities to lose a great deal of money.
Yes.
And historically, even when the market has big downturns, it rebounds. Well, I mean, now watch, it won't.
I like the,
You've jinxed it.
Yeah.
but I like the use of rebounds as opposed to rebounds. That was nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's because I'm Lithuanian.
And you've been listening to the Oh Hello podcast again.
Bob, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hey.
It's funny, people are into vinyl records and stuff, and DVDs are actually coming back now. I have the whole entire season of WKRP, Seinfeld, Mad Men. Chips is harder to find. I finally found my last season 4 set of Chips, so that means I have all of them.
That's right. You have all of them.
Oh, I'm so happy. This is going to be a thing.
All of the Chips. All of them. A true collector. He's all of them. And then he's going to name all the episodes. Ponch gets a haircut. Ponch finds a lady.
I want to go back and just watch the one episode of Chips with the alien abduction, which apparently is in the final season.
It is?
The only episode of Chips I know is because it went viral a couple years ago is they have a roller skating party, and it's got Willis from Different Strokes and someone from Little House on the Prairie, and there's just this big roller skating 70s party. And Willis is by far the best roller skater. He really lets it happen. You could tell Willis was chomping at the bit to get into this. He was finally, I'm not overshadowed by Gary Coleman. I can really cut loose on these things. So, yes, I'm unfamiliar with Chips. I have not seen very much of it. I just know Eric Estrada's behavior on that set literally ruined his career and ruined that show.
Look, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I just know that as the show was ruined in that final season, part of the plot synopsis is that night the alien visits Ponch's apartment and asks Jody to go with them, whoever Jody is. When Ponch returns to Central with a broken headlight, he finds blah, 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 blah. After the briefing, they pose as tourists to catch the thieves. Something else comes out of this guy. It's a helicopter, Ponch tells him. Bobby, it's whatever you want it to be. So there is some ambiguity as to whether or not the alien craft was a helicopter or an alien ship. But they were tapping into the zeitgeist, Fred, as aliens and UFO sightings kind of experienced a resurgence in the 70s. It was a whole thing.
Well, Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe that's when the episode was released, after Close Encounters came out.
Oh,
they're trying to capitalize.
Sure.
I've never seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
It's very, very slow.
That's what I'm guessing.
That's what I remember. Well, I remember seeing it on TV. The first hour, very slow.
You know how I think I know that is just by do 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 do. Like anything where that's the main song, you got a feeling it's not cooking along.
Well, it's cooking along because Terry Garr is in a nightie in several scenes.
Yeah.
And she's got that fastball working, painting the corners. Oh.
Yeah, you get Tootsie on there. Was she in Mr. Mom?
Sarge.
Yes.
Yeah, that had to be a good time of movies for you, Terry Garr.
I love Tootsie. I think Tootsie is a near perfect comedy.
Tootsie is a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
And they hide Bill Murray in it.
And he's
right.
Yeah, and he steals half a scene that he's in. He's very good.
We've gone over this before, but Bill Murray's the idea that he could be a leading man, like sex, like kind of like leading man, is because he's ugly, like uniformly, like there's no doubt about it. He's an ugly man, but like in Stripes, he starts out with a hot girlfriend, she leaves him, then he goes to the army and immediately picks up like the hardest army chick. He picks her up like too, and she's in a position of power. Like he's just so,
but
like.
He's got that vibe about him.
Well, that was the thing. It was all about the vibe. Alan Alda, Elliot Gould, Bill Murray, all these guys, not conventionally handsome at all.
No.
And all of them, like, crushing it. Even Woody Allen. I mean, now the girls, and this isn't a Woody Allen joke about him with his daughter. In the movies, like Manhattan, he's with a high school girl. The whole thing is the girl's 17. That's the girl that he's with in the movie Manhattan, which is a good movie, but the Hemingway in it, Muriel Hemingway, is that her name?
Yeah.
She's 17, like in the movie. She's a high school student, and he's dating her, and he has met her through his friend who only dates high school girls.
I like Muriel Hemingway. Mean Season, Kurt Russell, topless scene in the shower.
Over 18 at that point.
Oh yeah, sure. Sure.
Because there's a scene where in Manhattan where not Elliot Gould, but the equivalent of Elliot Gould, some guy like Elliot Gould, is playing tennis with Woody Allen, and he's telling him about how he's dating like a 15-year-old or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's like,
fun.
yeah. And it was like, oh, those boys, those sensitive New York guys. And that's kind of like what Oh Hello is based on.
It really is.
It really is. Like,
those guys.
Yeah, like those guys. Like those, kind of nebbishy, Upper East Side guys or Upper West Side guys. Like those, they play tennis in a big bubble.
Yeah.
By the river. A whole thing.
So the Bill Murray thing, number one, you mentioned Stripes, which somebody tried, just a random conversation the other day that I was having with some friends, and they said, well, what is your favorite movie then? Because I was crapping on something. I'm like, well, Jaws is number one, and then it's like a whole conversation. I don't know. And they said, what about Stripes? I said, absolutely not. And even if it were, only the first half. Because once they go over and they get the motor home that's supposed to be, that's just stupid.
Movie should have been stopped after graduation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then another Bill Murray movie was on the other day, which I had not tried to watch in many, many years, Meatballs. Sit down and try and watch Meatballs.
Without getting lost in Alperin's eyes.
I dare you to try and sit down and watch Meatballs. And I won't even bring up the problematic relationship between Bill Murray and the other elder camp counselor who spurns his unwanted advances,
Roxanne?
which very good, John.
Thank you.
Does not stop him from forcing himself upon her. Very problematic. Chris Makepeace, though, in a breakout role as Woody the Wabbit.
That's right.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Is that before or after My Bodyguard?
I believe that's before.
Before My Bodyguard. Okay.
Another great film.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stripes, first of all, in Cub Scouts, the Lenny Wolf, our Cub master, made us do the That's the Facts, Jack's thing.
Oh, that's fun.
None of us wanted to do it, and he made us do it. Like, he was adamant that we do it. It's not funny. It wasn't fun to do. None of us thought it was funny. We didn't know why we were doing it. I don't know why it was a dream of his to make kids do the thing from Stripes, because obviously he thought that somehow that would make him funny, that we were all doing it. And I just remember him. I'd never seen Stripes, and him just showing us that thing and us all going like, what are you doing? Like, this is so dumb. None of this is funny. I like, we don't get like they're breaking military code or that you're not supposed to act like this in the military. We're in the He-Man. Like, we're, 11 years old. I don't understand why. Like, we don't get this.
If he was forced into being a scoutmaster, he was going to make it entertaining for himself.
We wanted to do a variety show, which oddly, my friend and I wanted to pretend to be the Blues Brothers.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Now,
Alex Cho and I wanted to pretend to be the Blues Brothers, which would have been far cooler.
I've asked you this before. Were you Jake or were you Elwood when you guys would dress up as the Blues Brothers, or did it not matter?
Well, if you had to guess which one I was, which would you guess?
Joliet Jake.
No, I would be Elwood. Because I'm taller and thinner than the other guy.
I don't know. I don't know what the other guy looked like.
It's Alex Cho. He was not a fat kid, but he was not nearly as tall as me. And at the time, I was very tall and thin. So I would be the Elwood type. Now, I get it because I'm kind of an alpha. And you would guess that I'm the front man. Plus,
that you would almost insist upon it.
And that the gymnast part of it, the somersaults and everything.
Sure.
Yeah. Just looking back, as much as I loved Blues Brothers, and I just loved it. Not the greatest film.
I know. Does it hold up?
I should say that the Blues Brothers is not a bad film. The idea of the Blues Brothers, if I would have been my age now when it was happening, I would have been like, oh, do you like the blues? Is it something that you enjoy?
Yeah.
Are you going to dress up in little fun outfits and dance around singing other people's songs?
That's kind of annoying, but it's like, I can't stand, musicals for the most part, but it's not like they're bad because it's Aretha Franklin and it's James Brown
right,
and
but
it's Ray Charles. I'm like, all right, this is more than watching.
And their band was like this like who's who of like these like incredible like studio musicians, but like still that they went, oh, guess what? We like blues music. Hey, Saturday Night Live, we're going to go, like, sing these blues songs on it. Like, it's kind of... And you go back and read what, like, kind of cooler magazines had to say about it at the time. They didn't like it, and I kind of get why they didn't like it.
Well, it was, Blockbuster. I mean, it was, that was big studio.
No, but before the movie. I think the movie kind of was respected because... The movie... I should take that back. The movie's pretty good.
So the cool magazines didn't like... Aykroyd and Belushi dressing up and pretending to be blues guys.
Yeah, or like, it just was kind of corny, like, or, touring as like a blues band where they played characters. Like, it's like, when someone comes out with a charity album, like Theo Epstein, and you're like, well, you could have just raised money for charity. You just want to play your guitar and play in front of people. Like, and you're doing it to kind of protect yourself through this charity. You all know, like the more, unless you're like in charge of a charity, like the more fuss you make about what you're doing is the more kind of self-indulgent and self-aggrandizing it is. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to like come up with characters. They were like hiding behind characters because they wanted to karaoke.
And even with that cautionary tale, Bruce Willis still decided to do the return of Bruno.
And I will end it with this, as I've mentioned many times. Bruce Willis hosts Saturday Night Live. Instead of a monologue, he does a sweet blues song.
Yes.
Rick Moranis hosts the next week. Walks up to every instrument in the band during his introduction and goes, like, kind of puts his palms in the air and, like, grabs the saxophone and starts, like, they play, like a fake thing for him. And he goes, woo! And then he, like, grabs the guitar and he starts dancing around. So he just immediately, the week after...
Goofed on Bruce Willis.
Well, and then everyone on Saturday Night Live was like, please goof on Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Like,
that was awful.
I don't think Moranis brought that to them. They're like, here's what we want you to do.
I don't think Moranis had a problem with it.
No, but my point is, it was suggested to him when he walked in the door.
I mean, can you imagine, like, guys, I think I'm going to do a little song with the band. Oh, are you? Are you Bruno? All right, so we'll be back. A big championship game that I saw literally not 1 minute of last night, and so much more on the way.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hi, it's Ryan Johnston. Join Bob Beers and me for the call of today's game on the Bruins radio.
Hardy.
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch the game last night?
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. All right, Hardy, what happened last evening?
There was a football game last night. I don't know if you caught this one, but the Miami Hurricanes playing a home game for the College Football National Championship against the Indiana Hoosiers. Again, I don't know if you know this, Fred. Indiana Hoosiers, more known for basketball over the last, let's call it 40 years, than they have been for football. But they've had a very good year. They had a coach who came in and said, Google me. All I do is win. And they did win all their way up until this title game, and then they started putting points on the board. And, well, let's hear some of the action here from last night's National Football Championship.
2nd and 5 for Beck. Stretch play for Fletcher. Right side. Turn to the corner. Yeah. Here we go.
Bye-bye.
He's at the 40. He's at the 30.
Bye-bye.
He's at the 20. It's a drag race to the end zone. Mark Fletcher will take it all the way home.
Bye-bye.
For a Miami touchdown.
Bye-bye.
57 yards for Fletcher.
See you later. Bye-bye.
There's an eruption of joy at Hard Rock Stadium. Listen to this Hurricanes crowd.
Yeah. Listen to the Hurricanes crowd, which was outnumbered by about 7-3 out of 10.
Well, they got priced out of their own stadium, John.
That's true, they did.
$4,000 get-in price for that game last night.
On their own home field, 70-30, Indiana fans.
At that point, Indiana was up 10-0. 10-0 at the half. They were 10-point favorites in the game, but Miami not going away, making it a 10-7 ball game.
Dylan Joyce back around his own 2 to take the snap. And it's back to him. And the punt is on. Oh, it's blocked.
Oh, that's huge.
Blocks it. It is picked up. Touchdown, Indiana. Isaiah Jones. And Indiana comes up with a tremendous play. But Kyle Kamara got the block on the kick.
You've seen, and Fred, I know you didn't watch this, but I want to make sure I explain this to you. You've seen college punts, the punter takes 3 steps to the right.
Yeah.
There are 3 blockers, and very rarely does the opposing team rush more than 5. Indiana rushed 4 guys. 4. And the outside guy still blocked the punt.
Wow.
He went around the line of scrimmage, around one of those 3 up backs in front of the punter, and still got a hand up to block the punt, and it wound up being a touchdown.
So the guy that was just calling that from Indiana, I actually heard interviewed, and you gotta love what that guy's. I guess he's been calling Indiana football for something like 40 years.
I know.
And
I really am happy for this.
I
guy.
really am. And
really am.
He's just gone through years where no one was listening. And he says that, he goes to the practices, and he was talking about when this was Cisnetti or how do you pronounce Cignetti. When he I'm out on college football. It's all transfers. I only like watching North Carolina lose now. But I watched every North Carolina game.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I enjoyed it.
Nothing wrong with it.
I enjoyed seeing Belichick in various states of misery. But I guess that he could tell right away they actually had a coach when he came in. But good on this guy. Never getting to call bowl games, never getting to call anything, and now here he is this long into his career with the national championship game call.
Before this season, Indiana had more Division I losses than any other team in the country. And the only reason they're not more is because you have North Carolina in the brain. Northwestern lost 1 more game. So Indiana's now second to last after this season.
All right, so let's see
Big
if
Ten.
Yep.
Indiana can increase their lead here. Fernando Mendoza, as they're looking at the formation of the defense on the prior play and say, we know something that might work on this one.
Mendoza ready to take the snap. He takes it. He looks. He throws the football. And he runs it. No, he runs it. And he ties to the end zone. Does he get it in? Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza!
On a 4th and 4, he had picked up the first down, and he just kept going in for the touchdown.
4th and 4. And this will be the play. If you didn't watch the game, this will be the highlight that you'll see, and you'll probably see it into the future, too. Heisman Trophy winner, 4th and 4. Not a runner, this guy. More of a pocket passer, this guy. 4th and 4. Design quarterback draw, gains the first down, runs for a touchdown. 12-yard touchdown run in the national championship game in the 4th quarter to put his team ahead.
Again, this is a 10-point Indiana favorite, 10.5.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So it's close, and Miami in it until the end. They had a chance.
Here's the snap back. Beck looks, throws it down the field, and it is intercepted by Indiana. Wow, what a play! And it is Jamari Sharp who comes up with a pick. And Indiana is going to win this thing.
Yes, they are. 27-21 the final. Indiana goes undefeated, 16-0. They are your college football national champions.
Well, now Turbo
Richard of BC is going to be their top back next year.
Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely. They got a transfer from BC. Little guy.
Yeah.
5'8", 5'8", 210.
Yeah. Turbo.
But he's going to come in there and
he's going to run for 1,500 yards behind a good offensive line.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No question about it.
Their quarterback apparently is this great kid from TCU who's in the top 20 in the country in passing this year. The guy who's going to replace Mendoza. I think his last name is Hoover. Apparently he is an amazingly good quarterback who's got 1 year left of eligibility.
This might sound naive, but just based on how good the school is, you would think that Indiana would have some money from donors and stuff. They obviously have very successful alumni. So
Mark Cuban, for example.
Yeah, I think Cignetti, is that how you say
it? Kurt Cignetti.
I think that he was saying something like $10 million to Mark Cuban is like $10,000 to anyone else. He should probably give us $10 million or something like that.
Well, Cuban apparently gave them 2 very sizable donations. He wouldn't say what they were, but you can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to those young men of Indiana whose the average age on the team is 23 years old.
Yeah, but don't get too used to it because your boys got Pat Fitzgerald, who was a mediocre coach at Northwestern, to come in.
Look, I've had some issues there. Okay.
With head coaches?
Yeah.
That's not true.
No.
Come on.
It's funny when
Couple of
Michigan
hiccups.
when Michigan State had D'Antonio, I really liked him, even though he seemed kind of like a prick. You know, he would just they beat Michigan and Michigan would talk all this crap, and then he had this speech, you know, with the pride comes the fall, and like all this biblical stuff that he was saying, and then they went out and killed him. Like Hart, when he was the running back in Michigan, was like, you know, little brother, and it's like you let little brother play. And then they asked D'Antonio about it, and he was like, before the pride comes the fall. Like,
nice.
And he had this like very serious thing, and then Michigan State went out and beat him like 6 times in a row, and I found that to be very humorous. So there was a time there where Michigan State football was very exciting, but not enough for me.
You go back far enough, they used to have good coaches between D'Antonio. I mean, Nick Saban was there. I mean, they had...
When was Saban there? How long ago?
22 years ago.
Yeah, he was there for like a year and a half before he took the LSU job.
Okay.
Yeah, LSU came knocking, and he said, screw you.
Yeah.
He went, well, wait, this is a Big Ten job. And he went, nah. Yeah, and before that, they had Perlis, who had, you know, so much success.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Nick Saban was the head coach for 4 years, 95 to 99.
Well, that's more recent than I thought.
Yeah, then he took LSU, then he took Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was with Miami Dolphins in between, right?
Yeah, but I was just going college. You didn't have to show me up there, but if you want to, there you go.
Sorry.
Hey, we got to get to this Celtics game last night.
And then there was some, and I do want to spend some time. We can do the Celtics here, and then I do want to give some time to the brilliant offseason that the NFL teams needing coaches are having.
Yeah.
The very exciting hires and huge improvements going on. But go ahead.
I mean, this is a good matchup last night as the Celtics were visiting the Detroit Pistons. Wasn't Max telling us about this particular player last conversation we had with him?
Right-hand dribble by Derek White. Attacking the paint. Draws a double team. Kick out. Garza open 3. Got another one.
Well, you put him in a position right now where he sets a good pick and is by himself for a 3.
Very tight game all night, separated by just a point or two for most of the game. Jaylen Brown with a big night.
Jaylen Brown drives on Duncan Robinson, bullies him to the dotted line, kick out Pritchard. One dribble around Thompson, gets deep in the paint, backs it out, shot clock at 7. Jaylen's got it against Duncan Robinson. Right-hand dribble, past him, elevates, goes off the window and gets the bounce. The Celtics have the lead with 3:19 to go.
Oh, that was squirrely, man.
I was in bed and I saw that the Celtics had the lead, so I put a little money line bet on my Detroit Pistons.
Smart man.
My Detroit Pistons, who I watch so much. Yeah. I'm such a big fan.
Jaylen Brown with 32 points. Same day he's named All-Star starter.
Can we get to it?
Yeah,
want to bet?
Okay. Well, it wasn't the NFL, so of course you did.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't the mush. I want to bet. Now I didn't put any money on it, but nonetheless, I walked out of there with like $30.
Good. It's a shame the football game was on last night because a couple of all-star starters going up against each other last night between Jaylen Brown and Cade Cunningham, and the Celtics were trailing late and have one last chance.
Cade against Derek White. 2 dribbles in the left hand. Pull up. Elbow. Bounces out. Rebound. Cade knocked down by Duran. Ball saved from going out of bounds for the moment by Thompson, but he lands out of bounds, and the Celtics are going to be given the basketball. Down by 1.
That's not the last chance.
No.
That's them getting possession of the basketball.
Yes.
All right, Jaylen Brown missed the shot. There you go. But bum.
Same kind of shot, though. Elbow fall away. Good look.
I will tell you, if these two teams meet in the playoffs, that will be great.
Oh, my God. 7 games of that would be fantastic.
Yeah, because if I'm the Pistons, I'm not sure if I'm doing much at the trade deadline. I don't know if I want to mess around with this court. Now, they started the season exceptionally hot. They haven't been like that again, but they're pretty good, and they have an identity, and I don't know how much I want to screw around with that. Like, they're obviously going to make a deal at the deadline. Like, they're obviously going to bring someone in, and they can kind of they have a lot of cap room, and they have all their picks and everything, but, like, I'm not sure if I'm them, and we've talked to analysts about this because, I mean, this is ideal, right? If the Celtics go far in the playoffs, this is someone they're going to have to play.
Sure.
I mean, the Pistons and the Celtics really are the two best teams in the East.
The Knicks got embarrassed the other night, and they're now looking to trade Karl-Anthony Towns. Yeah,
last night as well.
They were down 30, and and Jalen Brunson's playing hurt, and they're not. I thought they were going to be much better. They're not.
Well, I did too. But so say that these are the two best teams in the East. You know, the Celtics, I don't know, they might get Tatum back, which seems like a bit of an improvement.
Did you see yesterday?
So
that he played for an hour.
Really showing out at the shoot around in the morning, and apparently saying, "Look at me, I'm ready."
No, that wasn't a mistake. The fact that he worked out for that long while the media was in there speaks volumes.
Well, he's peacocking.
Yes,
it's like the mystery method. You wear like a floppy hat and like girls like you know that you're there. But I would be interested to see if because I don't think if you're the Pistons you make like some gargantuan move and get rid of like pieces.
You have guys, and I don't know if you've watched more than I have. I haven't watched any, but
the Pistons? Yeah, I've watched them.
It seems to me like they have the alpha, and I love Cade Cunningham's game. He didn't play well last night, didn't shoot the ball well, but he had 14 or 15 assists.
Well, they have 3.
Duran's a great rebounder, not a good rebounder, a great rebounder.
Well, they have 2 All-Stars. They have 3 very good young players in Duran, Cunningham, and Thompson. And then
Tobias Harris is a very good role player.
is a good starter. Duncan Robinson I don't care for. And then, Jaden Ivey's been disappointing, so...
Well, I mean, you need a guy like Duncan Robinson. Celtics have a guy like that.
Yeah, I know.
You need a guy like that who is a very good three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Doesn't play any defense, but a very good three-point shooter.
He bugs me. Maybe because he's a Michigan kid. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by
Essentially true. J.K. Dobbins. So Denver opened up the 21-day practice window for running back J.K. Dobbins. He suffered a foot injury in early November. 2 teams filled their head coaching vacancies yesterday. Tennessee has hired San Francisco defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Earlier in the day, Miami hired former BC head coach and current Green Bay defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. Indiana held off Miami 27-21. They win college football's national championship. Celtics lost in Detroit 104-103. Jaylen Brown 32 points. And the Bruins are in Dallas tonight to play the Stars. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30. You're on 98.5, the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103 celebrating 125 years of power in Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports.
Not necessarily that well. They have given their GM a promotion and fired Sean McDermott. So that if you count the Giants job that has been filled by John Harbaugh, 10 head coaching jobs were up this offseason. And now Fast and Furious are getting filled, and a lot of prime candidates out there getting jobs, as evidenced by the hirings yesterday.
Dolphins expected to hire Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley as their head coach.
Okay, so let's review, because we'll start with this. Harbaugh, and then there's another one to get to. Harbaugh and McDermott are fired. Harbaugh probably not fired if they make that field goal.
Right.
McDermott probably not fired if that interception is properly called a reception.
Yep.
So they get fired. Now, Hafley, who was the coach at BC and not that great a coach at BC.
And let me just interject here. Dolphins, upon hearing that Harbaugh gets fired, fire Mike McDaniel, right?
Yeah, if the two are related, the timing does seem that way. So anyway, now, what did Green Bay do in the playoffs defensively?
Nothing. And by the way, they were a fringe top 10 unit defensively.
And no, but weren't they up in that game by double digits? Well, in double digits. And the defense blew it. So if you're a coordinator, there are no stakes in the game. If you're a coordinator and you give up a huge first half lead, it's all good. No problems there.
Packers were up 21-3 at the half.
Yeah, so they were up 18 points and they blew that lead.
They were up 27-16 with 6:30 to go and lost.
Yeah, so they blow that big lead, but Hafley is a can't-miss kid. Yeah, and they lost in regulation.
Yeah.
But he's the can't-miss kid.
Well, okay. He obviously mind wandered a little bit in the fourth quarter when the Bears hung 25 points on them.
Yeah, so, he deserves a job, but everyone else should be fired. Now another hiring yesterday.
Oh, yeah. This one speaks right to your heart, Fred.
The big story on Monday night out of the NFL, the Titans are finalizing a deal to make Robert Saleh their new head coach. Saleh was the defensive coordinator in San Francisco this past season, 20-36 as head coach of the Jets from 2021 to 2024.
All right, so forget about the Jets. They're a horrible organization.
What was that record again?
36 as head coach of the Jets from.
Okay.
Okay, so San Francisco defensive coordinator. So Harbaugh makes that field goal. He probably doesn't get fired. The interception isn't an interception in that Buffalo game. McDermott's probably not fired. What happened in San Francisco's last game?
They lost 41-6.
Oh, the defensive genius of Robert Saleh on full display. Now, in fairness, some of that was special teams. I mean, they did return the opening kick for a touchdown. But let's see. Sam Darnold only threw for a touchdown, and they did not give up a lot of yards in the air. But they gave up 175 yards rushing and 41 points. And they were never in the conversation. They were never in the game. So not only is Saleh a stellar head coach and a lot of success with the Jets, take that away and just blame the Jets for all that. He did a good job in San Francisco. Look, that Fred Warner was hurt. They had injuries. Bosa was hurt. They had injuries on defense. But again, if coaches are getting fired based on their last game, why wouldn't assistants be held to that same standard? I mean, Saleh's defense was not good.
I'm just wondering, and if you are Tennessee, you want to get a guy that's going to grow with Cam Ward, your overall number one pick. You're the person, the foundation upon which you hope to build the organization. And you hire Robert Saleh to do that? That seems a very, very odd choice. I would think you would want an offensive mind to help develop this kid. No? It's really strange.
Or a guy that could coach.
Saleh was an offensive assistant at Michigan State. That's where he made his bones. That was his first job.
Yeah, and it's good. It's been a good transition into running stairs, which is what he does before every game.
Yeah.
Saleh getting a lot of grace because of Aaron Glenn's failures last year. Again, Aaron Glenn only lost 2 more games than Saleh did with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. The Jets played December with Brady Cook as their quarterback, who will never play in the NFL again. Fred Hill play in the NFL again. Brady Cook will never play in the NFL again. He will not be a street free agent. He will not be on a practice squad. I don't know. I can't promise you he won't be in a practice squad, but there's enough people coming out in the draft and enough people sitting around that Brady Cook's not going to be a quarterback again. And this is not to say that the Jets are in disaster or that Glenn's a good coach. He's obviously, neither of those things are probably true. The Jets certainly are a bad organization. I mean, Glenn, I don't think he's a good coach, but who knows? Maybe miracles happen and he learned something. But Saleh wasn't a good coach. And you can blame ownership, but man, again, all these guys are firing their coaches, and nothing is laying in wait. There's not a Vrabel. There's not a Peyton.
No, the fact that Jeff Hafley is one of the more sought-after candidates. I mean, Hafley, if he wasn't hired by Miami, probably would have been hired by somebody else. I mean, he had 3 or 4 head coaching interviews. That just speaks to how desperate some teams are and how shallow the talent pool is this year.
And I don't blame the Texans for firing their coach. I mean, not the Texans, Tennessee for hiring their coach, firing their coach. Like, that's not, obviously that was well deserved. But I don't know if Miami got any kind of improvement. Now, I know they took the Green Bay GM and made him GM over there, and that's why this hiring happened. But if I'm a Dolphin fan, I'm not like, hooray. And if I'm a Titans fan, I'm not like, this is great.
Yeah, if you're the Miami Dolphin fan and you're like, okay, Green Bay's coming in to fix the problem. Are you sure? I mean, Green Bay's a decent franchise. They're certainly better than yours.
But they're never bad. Like, it's like, I don't know.
It doesn't seem like that's what you should be aiming for.
I guess because they traded for Micah Parsons. He's some kind of genius now. I don't know.
Yeah. Jerry Jones wanted to get rid of Micah Parsons. So you swooped in and you got him. Congratulations. But it isn't like the Packers aren't the standard upon which every other franchise is measured, I guess is my point. I don't. If you're Miami and you've been a doormat for so long, I mean, is that the goal, to be not bad? I think the goal should be to be good.
And Mike McCarthy, as I said yesterday, is being rumored to be a candidate for Buffalo. And that seems like Mike McCarthy's won a Super Bowl, and I don't think he's a bad coach at all. It just seems like this is so much better than what you had. Okay.
Yeah, retread of retreads. Congratulations.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way.
It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots players will be back at practice tomorrow with their big AFC Championship game matchup coming up Sunday in Denver. Wide receiver Mac Hollins eligible to return from injured reserve this week. Broncos running back J.K. Dobbins will practice starting tomorrow. He suffered a foot injury over 2 months ago. His team opened up his 21-day practice window yesterday. In other NFL news, there are now 6 head coaching vacancies left after 2 more were filled yesterday. Tennessee has hired former Jets head coach Robert Saleh. Miami has hired former BC head coach turned Green Bay defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. Indiana held off Miami 27-21 to win college football's national championship for the first time yesterday. Celtics ended their road trip with a tough loss in Detroit last night, 104-103. Jaylen Brown missed a pretty good look at a fall away from the right at the buzzer that would have won the game.
It felt good. Man, my legs are a little heavy, but got to make a play for my team at the end. Last play, catch, get to a spot, go up. Got to make a play for your team at the end. Had some opportunities, didn't convert, but still got some room to grow. That's what the regular season is for, so we get better.
He finished with a game-high 32 points in the loss. The Green host Indiana tomorrow night. Brown also voted an NBA All-Star starter for the first time. Jimmy Butler tore an ACL last night in Golden State's blowout win over Miami. And the Bruins will be in Dallas tonight to play the Stars. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 right here on your flagship radio station for the Bruins, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Mass Energy. Stay warm and safe this winter with heating oil, renewable bioheat fuel, and propane. Brought to you by the members of the Massachusetts Energy Marketers Association. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Sunday, the Patriots fly to the Mile High City to take on the Denver Broncos. The AFC Championship game. The Pats, the Broncos, on your home for New England Patriots football. All season long. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Toucher and Hardy.
Such an fantastic explosion.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Well, and again, they'll be the best defense that we've played to date because it's the next one. I mean, that's just how this goes. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're good on the perimeter. They're really good up front.
Attack just out of nowhere. It's going to be in the morning, number one. And I thought, if I make it out of the house, I'm going to die driving to work because I'm too tired. I can't do it.
Now, I'm not tired like falling asleep in my chair tired, but I am tired. But all I can say to you, Hardy, is one word: whoop.
Oh, I should.
You get the whoop, you can figure out when you're going to die. It tells you.
Oh, good.
It gives you your real age, and it tells you at the pace of aging.
You're what? Not the metabolic age. What do they call it?
I don't know, real age or
whoop,
something.
Whoop age.
Yeah, whoop.
What's my whoop age?
So whoop tells you when you're going to die, basically, and then so you got that going for you. But it's all about VO2 max. But sleep's a big factor, and sleep's what's my VO2 max, my resting heart rate, my heart rate variability. All these things are younger, but the sleep is what is accelerating the pace of aging. Adam likes this stuff. Adam, get a whoop already.
Hard pass.
Get a whoop, but a financial whoop that gives you your financial age.
There you go.
Won't have much to do.
That's right. You can rest. It can help you rest. All right, Christopher Price is the Patriots beat writer for the Boston Globe. He's kind enough to join us. Christopher Price, hello, sir.
Hello, sir. How you doing this morning, Fred?
I am well. Thank you for joining us, and very exciting times. I'm asking everyone this, and it is an opportunity to praise the Patriots. It was misconstrued, I guess, yesterday by. But Christopher, let me just ask you this: with Patriot fans, the more they win, the more that they get on you.
I think that's probably about right. I will say this: that when you praise, in my experience, when you praise a player on another team, like inevitably I will write a story probably saying that Patrick Surtain is one of the best defensive players in the league this week. Some Patriots fans will take that as a shot, say at Christian Gonzalez. It's okay to say that a player on another team is good. That doesn't necessarily detract from the player that is on New England. That's what I face a lot when I try and write about another team or the success or failure, whatever. Like I wrote a Derwin James piece. before the Chargers game. And some people sent me emails saying that, why are you writing about Derwin James when you should be writing about, say, Jalen Hawkins? So that's something that I kind of come across on a regular basis.
Don't you have an editor to stop you from these blasphemous things?
And these obvious pitfalls and traps.
Protect you from yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, you're like a modern day Larry Flint. You're really pushing the envelope over here. I mean,
that is the first time I've ever been compared to Larry Flint.
Yeah, Christopher Price. I heard. All the writers say that, and then I heard Felger yesterday. Felger was big on in the cloud. I heard it's like, this ain't the show for your horse crap. Bring it to any other show because all the other shows will take it.
Oh,
because this is the one that.
What was the horse crap that someone was trying to bring to the show?
Yeah, like like fake takes. And he was saying, he was like, take that anywhere else. He's like, this is a place where we demand logic.
Oh, okay.
But he couldn't.
That's a place for sports radio.
But he couldn't. He couldn't just say that we demand logic. He was saying at the expense of every other show.
Yeah, we have standards.
Take it anywhere. Take it everywhere else.
Right.
And if it makes Felger feel any better, I'm every bit as hated as he is. But for personal things as well, not just sports. Felger's at least in a pretty good lane of just being hated for his sports takes.
This guy,
I'm hated for many, many things, personal things.
Our guy from yesterday should call Felger and Maz.
I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I am surprised.
That's right.
That's the type of analysis.
That's just the kind of logic bomb we need to detonate at about 4:30.
Yeah. How about you, Chris? Were you surprised at the way the Texans showed up for that game, but yet not surprised?
Yes, that's a fair way to put it, Hardy. Yeah, that guy was spot on. Look, I think the Texans have the foundational elements of a decent team, a really good football team when they're all healthy, when everyone is out there, when you get Nico Collins, when you get Dalton Schultz, and that defense, I think, travels. They have to make a decision at the quarterback position moving forward. If C.J. Stroud is the guy, look, the contract is going to be a big conversation for him moving forward. They are going to be part of the mix, or they should be part of the mix in the AFC South, but I don't see them able to get over that 10-7 hump, for lack of a better term, to be able to get to that, that truly elite level at this point.
I thought of this yesterday, and that was really the day for this victory lap, but it occurred to me, do you remember me saying, and it may have been when you were on with this, Chris, that the Texans didn't bother me as much as Denver, and that I didn't trust C.J. Stroud? You remember that, Waller?
I do not remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I don't know exactly why, other than he does not look like he has improved from that rookie season when he was phenomenal. It's just, and now you're right. I think they've put themselves in a position they had no idea they were going to be in last year, where they got to think about a quarterback. Hell, they were thinking about it at halftime.
Well, would you have pulled them? I'm sorry, just real quick, just to add to that. Would you have pulled Stroud at the half?
No, because I think C.J. Stroud, even in that situation, gives you a better chance to win, better chance to come back than Davis Mills does.
I don't know. I mean, you were there. We were watching it on TV. He was deer in the headlights midway through the second quarter.
He was. Look, he was in. Look, I'm not going to make apologies here for C.J. Stroud, but he was down as two tackles. He was down as two top pass catchers. I don't know what else he could have done in that situation, than what he already did. So I'm not looking to make excuses for the guy, but he was the best possible option in that moment.
Fair enough,
I firmly believe that.
But you're also in a position with the way your defense is and the way that game was being played, where it just takes sacks, right? Take and some of the interceptions, at least one that off the top of my head, weren't his fault.
Yeah, it bounced off a receiver's hands over the middle. That's right.
But that Marcus Jones touchdown, under no and Christopher, that has been coached into him, even over the course of that week, probably 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Don't press. The tight end falls down on that play. He's got a rusher in his face. Just take the sack. You're up in the game. Let us flip the field. I mean, they were bad field position, but let's punt. Let's get out of this. And he pressed during the Pittsburgh game and he pressed during that game. But what I was going to ask you originally is, that's 2 games in a row that quarterbacks have freaked out, and that can't just be 2 quarterbacks freaking out on their own. There has to be some element to this that is applicable to the Patriots defense and the way that they're playing. What are you seeing from the Patriots defense that has been so difficult for these quarterbacks to perform against?
They're sending more pressure in the postseason, first of all. And I think some of that is game specific. Some of that is situational football that, you were able to get up by 10 points in the third quarter, fourth quarter. They're going to pass to try to get back in the game, and you can send an extra guy. And so you can generate a little bit more pressure. The other thing is that you have your defensive front back together again and fully healthy. You had Tonga back for the first time this past Sunday. Milton Williams is back at, something close to 100%, or at least it looks like 100%. Christian Barmore is there. You're getting situational snaps off the edge from a guy like Harold Landry. I think Anthony Jennings is playing really well on the edge right now. So you're starting to get completely healthy. So I think there's a few different things at play here, but the added pressure figures into it, the different personnel figures into it. And then you have a couple guys who can do a few different things. Jelani Tavai is able to line up on the edge, line up in the middle. You can get great coverage from a guy like Jalen Hawkins, not tremendous coverage on tight ends, but good coverage. You have some guys who can, offer a few different looks. So there's a lot at play there when you look at what the New England defense has been able to do over the first two postseason games.
And it sets this unfair precedent to other teams that have drafted, all these guys. You just get a bunch of free agents, they'll come together and be one of the best defenses.
And then the other
NFL.
thing, Fred, too, the other thing too is that both those teams, were lacking along the offensive line because of injury. So that figures into it as well. And look, the defense has played really well. The defense has played at an elite level these two postseason games, but they faced two offensive lines that are a little bit sluggish at this point in the year.
Yeah, and it's not like the Patriots have got some all-pro offensive line. Okay, fast forwarding to the AFC Championship game. I mean, there's no other way to put it. This has gone from, house money to you got to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's completely fair. Christopher, what do you say about that?
The expectations have changed.
Right.
Not just for the way the Patriots are playing, but obviously, the Bo Nix, Jared Stidham situation. The wild card for me coming into this game, and I'm glad John mentioned it there at the top of the hour, is J.K. Dobbins. If J.K. Dobbins can be effective at all, when he's been healthy, he's been a good back, not a great back, but a good back. If he can be healthy, or if he can get healthy in time for this game, which is obviously a question mark, but if he can get healthy in time for this game, it gives the Broncos another option. And it gives maybe, Stidham a little bit more time back there if he can be effective running the ball. And I'm not talking wildly effective. I mean, look, this is a guy who averaged, I think it was 77 yards a game over the first 10 games of the season before the foot injury, 5 yards a carry. So he's good, not great, but he gives them another option when it comes to maybe showing the Patriots a little bit of a different look.
Is there anything about Jared Stidham, though, to make you think that the Patriots are not going to be able to do to him what they did to Herbert, what they did to C.J. Stroud, and even to a greater extent to where they could render him completely ineffective? I mean, does he have anything that they need to be concerned about?
I think, Hardy, the first quarter is going to tell you everything you need to know about where Jared Stidham is. If the Patriots are able to get up early, if the Patriots can build a 10-point lead, a 14-point lead, then you're going to be able to pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. And you're going to see a lot of situations like we saw over the course of the first two playoff games where they're able to generate pressure. That the Broncos are fundamentally playing, with one hand tied behind their back because they have to throw to get back in the game. So then I think things could kind of start to roll downhill. But if the Broncos can, find some special teams magic in the early going, block a punt, run a kickback, whatever the case may be, you don't want to let them get that momentum going and have that carry over to the offensive side of the ball.
I want to flip it back to the Patriots' offensive line against the Denver's defense, which is just about as good as Houston's. In my mind, Will Campbell is a major concern, not only for now, but based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks, the Patriots may have to reevaluate things over the winter.
Yeah, I'm curious how they decide to go about that, John, moving forward. I think that the Chargers game, you might be able to chalk it up to the fact, look, he's still maybe a little bit rusty. He's coming back from the knee injury. He's not back to 100%. You had the guy next to him in Jared Wilson, who's still, obviously dealing with, some concussion issues, coming back after the concussion, not right now, but kind of, again, also knocking some rust off. I wouldn't be surprised if they jump back in the market to try and get a tackle, because you look at the other side too. I love what Morgan Moses has done this year, but he's 34. And so I don't think they need a complete tear down to the studs at that position, but it's a sneaky, big, important area of need for them going into the offseason, whether it's in free agency or the draft. I think you can make an argument right now that maybe Will Campbell's best position is left guard, and then you reevaluate moving forward. You move Wilson to center, and Bradbury's, whatever, ends up leaving after a year or two, whatever the case may be. But you do need to make some moves on that offensive line. They performed really well to this point in the season, but you need to figure out some stuff on that offensive line moving forward.
And that's what you got to think a good organization does, is that they can accept, okay, we might have drafted this guy high for where he's eventually going to play, but if he has the ability to be an all-pro guard instead of a marginal tackle, I mean, you take that, right? Like you have to admit, okay, we made the mistake. We might have overdrafted the guy, but worst case scenario is we have an elite guard. You put him in that position. And I understand, we got emails yesterday. Left tackles are very hard to find. I understand that. And I understand you can't get them in free agency. But, if Will Campbell's not the answer at left tackle, you have draft capital. I mean, you can at least take a shot at the position. And like you said, Christopher, if you're going to need a right tackle sooner than later. So, you can kind of see how things play out in camp and things of that nature. And I know some guys are specialized at right tackle, but, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I look at the worst possible scenario in all this is Will Campbell got a full year at left tackle, and it increases his versatility moving forward.
Right.
They have, I think they're going to have options this offseason. I'm not saying that they're going to go out and take a tackle in the first round, but they're going to have options, whether it's in free agency or whether it's in the draft. There are guys that you can find to come in and fit your system. They got a guy in Marone here who everyone likes, who is well respected around the league. And so I think they're in a good position moving forward. I think they also made the right move. I don't want to go back and kind of, re-legislate the decision to take Campbell at number 4. I think they made a good move there because they needed offensive line help in the worst way, and they got the best offensive lineman in the draft. I just think moving forward, they're going to have to kind of take a look at that position and see what's out there and see if they can get an upgrade sooner rather than later.
Well, they didn't get the best offensive lineman in the draft. Membu is the best offensive lineman in the draft.
Membu, who wanted to fight Christian Barmore.
That's right. Oh. He's the only guy who cares. All right, Christopher, he was really the only guy that cared at that line. Christopher Price, read him in the Boston Globe. We will talk to you hopefully soon, and enjoy yourself in Denver.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right, appreciate it. There is Christopher Price. Very exciting times for the Patriots. Nick was at the game yesterday. We will hear who he talked to in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
45. Hot, 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 hot.
Ah, yes. The scene. Gillette Stadium. Sunday, January 18th. Nick Gemelli goes to the game, sits in a broadcast booth where he's wearing ski goggles. Like he is on some kind of situation where caretakers have taken him to the game.
Either that or he was a pilot or bombardier in the briefing room before the big mission.
Yeah, he was on top of his doghouse flying around a World War II fighter plane. But nonetheless, Nicholas Gemelli was out after the victory the Patriots had on Sunday, and he talked to some fans. And here is what the good people of New England had to say.
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, well, you know what to tell Dolak. Stop talking over the sushi.
Oh, he's saying that Scott interrupts Sosi?
I don't think that's fair.
That's not
Unfair.
True. That's not true at all.
Unfair.
Handoff, Stevenson bounces it wide. He gets to the outside 50, right side 45, chased down the sideline and shot.
He only talked over him like a little bit there.
Yeah, he just made a noise.
Yeah.
What do you want the guy to do? He has a microphone in front of him.
All right. What other things do you want to tell Zolak?
Man sucks too. I think you need to tell Fred Touch that he needs to be nice to you because he's on you all the time, man.
Nick, did you tell him that it's all well deserved?
He tells him.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. Because Nicholas is only getting problems for his own frailties. Frailties?
Faults, frailties.
Combine the two, that's
faulties.
fine. No, you're good.
Sniglet. I just made a sniglet.
I listen religiously because I think he's a very talented guy. But you always rip on Nick.
And I'll say this: it comes it comes from a good place.
Yeah.
You know, who's your least favorite?
Now, I do want to hear his least favorite because it's not me. But Nick, what did you take the picture of us away?
It's right there.
Oh,
okay. It's in front of you.
Because I came in today and it was gone, and I'm like, I don't want Nick to think that I like. Nick for my birthday gave us a nice picture of someone cut out, and me and him.
It's right in front of the popsicle sign there.
And I actually appreciated the gift, and good, we'll keep it there because I didn't want Nick. I actually didn't want Nick to think that I had thrown the picture out because I had not. All right. So we know I am very talented, but too hard on Nick. Maz sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But now we are going to find out very good information about the station.
Who's your least favorite person on the Sports Hub?
Joe Murray is awesome when he's baked. Dude, you can tell when he eats a gummy because people will call me like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "What's up?"
So Joe's always great.
I don't think he's telling tales out of school. I think Joe is confessed to as much.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't hurt nothing.
No.
I mean, Joe's got that nighttime vibe that I love.
Joe, very quiet during the post game. Very quiet.
Well,
we've been over this off air.
I think he's doubling the dosage for that post game.
I knew I wanted to work with Hardy, but then I doubled down on it after Hardy's comments to me before the show yesterday when we heard the Dundero clip. And he went, "You got to match the energy," and I went, "Yes, you do.
You got to balance it.
You got to balance the energy.
You do."
And that's not even a diss on Dundero, but if someone's going crazy, and you start going crazy next to him, that's something called unlistenable. So Joe, rightly so, and this is honestly not a diss on Dundero. Dundero's like, going off on something. The other person's got to kind of scale back a little bit. You want him to go off, but if it's two people just screaming and yelling, unless something funny's happening.
That's Dingo and the baby.
Yeah, that's not so great. Not so great. And you throw a bunch of sound effects over it. It's a whole thing.
I love Joe.
Felger's the best.
Felger? Dude, he's a kind of a prick, dude. I would love to tell Felger he's a prick. Like,
well, you can right now. You can do it.
Felger, sometimes you need to shut the up. You're obnoxious. Like, Felger ripped on the Red Hot Chili Peppers one day for like half an hour.
Oh, the balls on that guy. Now, the Red Hot Chili Peppers suck. But like the balls with the music that guy listens to with his Grateful Dead. Do you know they did some post-show thing after Weir died? so he could like eulogize
Really?
Bob Beer from the dead.
Their live thing, the unfiltered.
Yeah,
thing?
because I heard the end of the show because I like Felger and Maz. I don't know why Felger was he was just going like all other shows basically suck and we're the best, which I found out of kind of personality for him. He doesn't really seem like that kind of guy. He's always been very cool, and I've done like speaking engagements with him, and we both appreciate each other. I just thought it was very odd yesterday. He was kind of like this show is like the truth teller. Go bring it to another show, and you're like,
Can't stop the spirits when they need you.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm like, buddy, they'll sell out a stadium in like 10 seconds. And who are you to rip on that? You know what I mean? Like, you might not like them. That's fine. I do like
Who's going to edit all this?
Well, who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Papa was a copper and the mama was a hippie.
I liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was younger, and then they kept making albums.
I liked Mother's Milk.
I loved Mother's Milk. And then no one was more disappointed when Blood Sugar Sex Magic came out than me. I bought it the day it came out. I was so excited.
Yeah, that was the next album, wasn't it?
It was the next album, and I understand a lot of people like it, and I'm not even saying like it's an embarrassment or anything.
No. But that's when Anthony Kiedis decided he was a singer of songs.
Yeah, and then Under
Almost
the
a
Bridge,
crooner.
and almost unfortunately, Under the Bridge became a hit, and then you were like, "Oof, I don't know about this."
Well, they righted the ship though.
I was watching. Forget it. I could get down a rabbit hole with this. I was watching this video about this skater, and he was like talking about the '90s, and he's like early '90s, and he's like or late '80s, and he's like, we went to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now remember, this was the late '80s before they sucked. He had to put the disclaimer on it.
If we're talking Uplift Mojo Party Plan, we're not talking about
we're not,
hot minute.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably Hardy or Ryan Beaton.
Hardy, he's another one.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like Hardy?
I think Bertrand.
Wait, why don't you like Hardy?
He's a condescending prick.
Dude, I think Bertrand's awesome.
I swear to God.
Bertrand's awesome.
He needs to be humbled.
Hardy?
Yeah. After he went from
he's such a huge
once he got the gig in the morning, he got all pompous. I'm sorry. I know he's your buddy. I'm sorry.
I just think it's funny that they go, Hardy's pompous, Bertrand's great.
But did you hear the guy defending me in the background? He's like, Hardy, come on, he's a huge cokehead.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
He's all right.
I didn't hear that. It's very rare that someone will take shots at Hardy. Very rare.
It's true.
I almost never hear it.
I know. Well, I left it in. You know, these guys got to get all their takes out there, and he's right. I've suffered no humility in my life. I've never been humbled, and when I did move to mornings, I changed. Obviously, I'm a totally different guy.
Yeah, you're exhausted. The thing is, if these were the guys listening to our show, I would be so happy if I could just picture them as our audience.
Oh,
I love these guys.
I know.
This is who I want listening to the show are these guys.
I thought the same thing. That's why when Nick knew it too, he talked to these guys. He's like, these guys, whatever we do for these, we got to do these guys first. And I kept in most of it. The only thing I took out was some of the repetitive stuff.
Because when they crap on the show, at least or on the station, it's funny. Like that's the kind of stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah.
What about Wallach?
I like him.
That bird bit. I
like Dan Shea. What's his name?
Who?
Dan, baseball guy. What's his name?
Dan Shaughnessy?
No. Shea? Not Shea.
Matt McCarthy?
No. Dan.
No, you meant Matt McCarthy.
That's exactly what you meant.
Listen to Nick. Now, he's sober, right?
Yeah, well.
They're talking about a guy who works at the radio station, Dan, the baseball guy. Okay?
Right. I know who they're talking about.
We all do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We should put a timer on this. Back it up a little bit.
I did.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right, you keep track.
Okay.
Baseball guy. What's his name?
Dan Shaughnessy?
No. Shea? Not Shea.
Matt McCarthy?
No. Dan.
Tyler
Milliken.
Super friendly guy.
Yeah, he's always happy about like baseball opening day.
No, not list chats.
No, he's a miserable prick. I know what you're talking about. He loves the Red
Dan
Sox.
Shea. Is it not Dan Shea? No.
He loves the Red Sox. I know what you're talking about.
He goes to spring training every year.
Yes. Oh, Dan Roach?
Yes. Dan Roach. Oh, Shay Roach.
Yeah.
31 seconds.
Well, the first one was Dan Shaughnessy, who works at the station.
Yeah.
Because you could give him credit because Dan Roach doesn't really work for the station, but his first guest was Dan Shaughnessy, who doesn't even do the station.
Well, he used to do the Dan Shaughnessy Show, hosted by Adam Jones, but it was the Dan Shaughnessy Show.
Well, he did let us put pencils in his hair.
Yeah.
And see how many would fit.
I love
Seminal moment to this program.
Kendra. How about Kendra?
You know, at first I was like, oh, this broad. She's actually pretty good. No, she is. Well, you know what I mean? I thought she was like filler. I'm admitting I was wrong.
If you can say anything to the...
Give me Zolak's number, real quick. I want a direct line to that.
If you can say anything to Mike Felger, what would it be?
Dude, you're not that important, buddy. You've never cured cancer. Like, just shut the up. People call up. They just want to say something. Let them speak. Let them talk. What you have to say. If people don't just agree with you, you don't just shut them up and send them on their way. Listen to what they have to say. Out.
If you can say anything to Scott Zolak, closing thoughts, what would it be?
Scott Zolak, I like his moxie, but he's got to stop talking over Bob Sochi. Let him make the call, then he can celebrate. His oohs and ahs, too much.
If you can say anything to the Patriots, what would it be?
Win, baby, win.
Dude, let's go. Let's take the Super Bowl home.
All right. Well, you're certainly getting there.
Seem to be running out of energy there at the end.
Yeah.
Well, they
it's
had
a long day.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to. We have a very important question here. Eric, go ahead.
Hey, morning, guys. Quick question, because it just occurred to me when you were doing your spot-on impersonation. Which do you prefer? The vocal stylings of the Red Hot Chili Peppers or the vocal stylings of Nick and S.A. Martinez of 311?
Okay. Now, this is an interesting question because... All right, so S.A. Martinez out of all of them is the worst because he raps like a character from a TGIF sitcom. Like whenever the dad would rap. Now, Anthony Kiedis just can't sing. It's like sometimes you think of that band and like imagine if they had a guy who could like actually sing. Like Anthony Kiedis out of popular bands might have the worst. He's a worse voice than Johnny Rotten. Like
so. It reminds me, like, years ago, Keith Richards was on stage with, like, two other guys from the Rolling Stones. They were doing some gig, and Terrence Trent D'Arby came up and did a song with them. And Keith Richards said afterward, holy crap, imagine if we had a real singer. Now, Mick Jagger is a great front man, but he can't sing.
But he is Pavarotti compared to Anthony Kiedis. Now, the problem with Nick Hexum, though...
Mick Jagger is Pavarotti?
Compared to Anthony Kiedis?
I don't know.
They would tell you he can't sing. So, but the problem with Nick Hexum is he can sing, but he adopted the Nebraska patois. So... That's a loaded question. Thank you. That's actually a real brain teaser because it's all so bad. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I would have to say... If Nick Hexum sang sang without a patois, though, he could sing. All right, let's take a break. That was too philosophical for me. Now I have to readjust my barometer. But Nick was out there. I like those guys. We will come back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius.
Here's a bunch of highlights of people getting concussions, which is what it was. The
No,
NFL
that's
today.
true. The NFL today, all of those hits that you saw during that highlight reel would have been personal fouls, suspendable offenses.
Irv Cross, baby. All right. And Jimmy the Greek. So, and a Brett Musburger with very odd hair. All right. So, am I playing 2 here? Is this what we played?
Yeah. We got to get to all 3, though. So you.
Okay. All right. So young Nicholas was out at the Patriots game. He talked to some guys we liked a little bit earlier. And let's hear.
So we went from a bunch of guys that we all really liked to one guy that I think really likes Nick. And Nick really likes him back.
Oh, how rare.
Wow.
What's your name? Mike. Mike. Can we use this for the radio, Mike? You may. All right. Talk to me about the game tonight.
Well, first of all, Nick came up respectfully. Awesome. 98.5, he's good human. Came up, I'm walking with a group of men that I just met walking out because I saw a woman that I thought was going to fall.
Get it?
I was out with the wife and a friend.
I was walking out with a bunch of guys.
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
And I was walking out with a group of guys I just met because I saw a woman who I thought was going to fall. No one. Where's the follow-up? None needed. Please proceed, Nick.
All you mans is walking out here. This woman just might take a digger. I better stay close.
And that's why I'm with these guys.
Whoa.
And that's why I'm with these guys.
Oh, very nice.
But guess what? Not very nice. You came up and it made my night.
Oh.
Talk about the game. I love hockey. I want the Bruins to win. You know what made my night?
What?
Zdeno Chara out there.
Oh, really? Yeah. That was your favorite moment of tonight, not the win.
The win, of course. But hear me out. If you're a diehard hockey man, it shows Boston. 98.5.
98.5.
But it shows Boston to a T. It's incredible.
If you had to choose between, Drake May, generally like a good person, like if you had to choose, like, would you pick Drake May or maybe I'm wording this wrong?
No, just say it.
Yeah, Nick. Chances are,
No, it's a really good question.
What the hell's happening?
It's a really good
What's
question.
happening is Nick is realizing he's making a mistake in real time, which is something called progress. Now, I wish you would not stop his momentum. How dare you?
Now, it took him 30 seconds to come up with the name Dan Roach. Let's see how long it takes him to get this question out.
Would you pick Drake May or maybe I'm wording this wrong?
No, just say it.
If you, no judgment, like stepping back, who's a better person? Who do you think is a better person?
I don't know either of them, whoever you're going to ask about.
Hold on, let me clean it up.
Love that.
Let me clean it up. Who's a better person in your opinion, Drake May or Tom Brady?
Don't know either of them personally. So
no, in your opinion, who would be?
But that's not an opinion because I'm a respectful man. I don't know either of them as a human. You got to be articulate. You got to be intellectual. You got to have your BS, right?
Yeah.
And you have your customer service voice. You're a beautiful man. You speak well.
Hey, man, you seem like a very nice person.
I am. See, I can't. and it's really funny.
What?
Three rules in life.
It's a cute meat.
you know what he's
to
doing?
meet cute.
You know he's turning into drunk uncle now. It's really funny.
Now, I got this van over here. It's got candy and puppies. I mean, I don't know if you're interested. I don't know if you... Well, this one with the no windows? Yeah. You need a ride home? How about that there, Scooter?
You seem like a very nice person.
I am. See, I can't. and it's really funny.
What?
Three rules in life. And this might be the funniest thing you'll ever hear, and I hope my niece and nephew hear this.
Okay.
30 years old.
All right.
You know what I say to my family, and you're going to laugh.
All right.
Rule number 1.
What's that?
It's easy to be nice.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
What's rule number 1?
It's easy to be nice.
What's rule number 2? Farts are funny no matter how old you are.
Sure.
And you're smirking. You're not laughing.
I think they're funny, yes.
Yeah, why don't you laugh, Nick?
Yeah, well, this is the funniest thing you're ever going to hear.
Nick, I'm a little shocked. Well, you must have been too wrapped up into getting the audio that you didn't give it its proper guffaw.
Hold on. Really listen this time, Nick.
Farts are funny no matter how old you are.
He's laughing now.
Yeah. I just think he just let you off the hook, Nick. I think he was reeling you in, and then he just let go. He just let you off the hook. You got away with the bait.
Rule number 3: if you go to bed with an itchy bum, you wake up with a stinky finger, and you're laughing. But what's rule number 1?
Being nice is awesome.
You need to be nice.
You need to be nice.
So you say that to the kids in the family, and it goes a long way.
All right.
Well.
The farts are funny no matter how old you are. I hope his niece and nephew did hear that, because something tells me Uncle Mike isn't around all that much.
Something tells me Uncle Mike is a lot, and
people dreading family occasions.
The best is you tell a joke and then you go, "You're not laughing. You're not laughing." What did it go over your head?
Farts are funny no matter how old you are.
All right, and finally, young Nikolai was out beating the streets.
On his way out, this sounds like it was in the parking lot. He was done working, and he didn't have to do anything else, but he met these two fine gentlemen.
All right, first off, what's your name? Greg. And what's your name?
Adam, son of Greg.
All right, can we? Is it all right to use this?
Yeah,
for the radio?
sure. Yeah.
All right, you're just leaving the game. Talk to me about the game tonight.
Oh, come here. Unreal. We're going all the way. We're going all the way. I was a little bit nervous coming into the game, like with the Texans defense. But no Nico Collins. Drake May always gets it done. Vrabel calls the right call sheets. Listen, run that ball, throw it when we need. Keishon Boutte came up with a big catch.
Can we sing an Irish song?
Well, come on.
Ole, 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 ole.
I like the first song better.
We're going all the way. We're going away. Oh, unreal.
European sports fans just got to get that drunken song out, man.
Is that Sly Fox?
Can we sing an Irish song?
If you're a Sly Fox, you're acting like you don't know.
Come on.
Ole, 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 ole. Unreal.
Oh, come on.
Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole.
Wait, I got one last thing. One last thing. We all we need, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Very good.
All right. Hey, shout out to Carl Landry. Harold Landry III with, what, two turnovers?
Farts are funny no matter
Carl
how old you are.
Landry the turd. I named it too. I saw that on namethatcrap.com.
Harold Landry III.
I liked him so much I named my feces after him.
What, two turnovers?
2 turnovers.
4 picks. 4 picks.
Hey, you have any closing thoughts?
Hey, I just love it. I love this city.
Glory days. Foxborough or Boston?
Boston.
I was just going to say, what's your favorite part of Foxborough?
Oh, the train back to Boston.
If you could say anything to the Patriots, what would it be?
Go Pats. Turd. Hey, turd. Oh, turd. I just love it. All the way. Go Pats. Going away. Go Pats.
All right. Thank you, Nicholas, for going out there. We will be back. Andrew Callahan will be in for a solid hour of heavy football analysis coming up in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the
This is Boston's home for sports. The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics. WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots visit Denver on Sunday for the AFC Championship game. Mike Vrabel's team has a unique challenge in front of them as they get ready to face backup quarterback and former Patriot Jarrett Stidham.
You know, just going back to when Josh had him and playing against that, I just think he sees things really well. I think he's athletic enough to extend, like we talk about a lot of quarterbacks. Accuracy, I think the decision-making was really decisive in the games that we went back and watched. And this is even going back to when I was in Tennessee as well.
Vrabel also announced yesterday the team's travel schedule will remain the same as they really don't have enough time to get used to the high altitude anyway. The team will hold their first practice of the week tomorrow. Denver also opened up the 21-day practice window for running back J.K. Dobbins, who suffered a major foot injury a couple of months ago. In other NFL news, 2 teams filled their head coaching vacancies yesterday. Last night, Tennessee hired San Francisco defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Earlier in the day, Miami hired former BC head coach Jeff Hafley. Indiana beat Miami 27-21. They won their first ever college football national championship. Celtics ended their road trip with a loss in Detroit, 104-103. Jaylen Brown, 32 points in a loss. He missed a pretty good look at a fall away from the right at the buzzer. Green host Indiana tomorrow night. Brown yesterday voted an all-star starter for the first time. And last but not least, the Bruins are in Dallas tonight to play the Stars. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the juicy chopped sirloin. All Big Deal Meals are now available all day, every day for just $14.99. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
Toucher and Hardy.
Individuals who seek acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
One of the best things about Coach is he coaches hard, but he also cares about us a lot, and I think that goes a long way. You know, Coach Vrabel is he's constant now. It's hard when I'm sitting right here, and my man is with the camera on team meetings. He's got a sarcasm that I haven't really figured out 100% yet. He's got a little tough sarcasm where I want to laugh, but you don't really want to. But no, I think he's a big dude too. You know, I respect somebody that looking me in the eye, and he's always got something to say, and I think it's always something that is either funny or helps the team and helps us win.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Andrew Callahan, we're lucky enough to have in studio once a week during football season. He's the Patriots reporter for the Boston Herald, among other duties, I must say.
Duty.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, Andrew, how old are you?
34.
But yet you were still wowed by the lineup of the 90s cruise that Hardy was telling you about that he's going on next week.
I was just proud that I knew 4 or 5 bands as someone whose music taste is like stuck in 2014 and didn't listen to much before I was musically conscious in 94. Like when you guys generally talk music here, I just have to sit and stay quiet because I have nothing to add.
If you were talking about music post 2014, for the most part, I would just have to sit here and remain mute.
But I've heard Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys talk about this, and this is what is generally true, which is why I find what you're saying, Andrew, odd, is that music never means as much to you as when you are like a teenager. It's all the hormones and like the way you're feeling emotions and things like that. That's pretty much true for most people. And then you also are diving the deepest into music at that point. So they're like rabbit holes and like going, oh, wow, this band or this label. And I'm going to go like look at go back. So someone had asked Adam Horovitz, the Ad Rock, they were like, what do you like now? And he's like, to be honest with you, I don't listen to anything anymore because there's just this infinite amount of music from, when I was into the music going back, there's really no point. So it's just like, I think that people in their 30s now, it is odd to me that like there's no knowledge. And then because people go, well, I don't know that band because I wasn't around. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I wasn't around when that band was around either. When I was arguing with Phil Perry about his lack of institutional knowledge of the city that he lived in, I was really giving it to him. But the thing was, he was like, well, that was before I was born. And I'm like, yeah, that was when I was 5. Like, I didn't know it while it was happening.
But
I know of it now.
How old are you, Andrew?
34.
So 10 years ago, you were. Yeah, I would think stuff from like the early aughts would be your wheelhouse.
I think that's fair. I mean, and I want to go back because I said I didn't really listen to anything before I was musically conscious. Like, I grew up. My mother has gone to as many Bruce Springsteen concerts as any sports writer, which is like a thing that we found out.
That's impossible, but go ahead.
Been seen REM, saw Aerosmith, went to a Stones concert when I was growing up. Like, I had a good musical education, thanks to my mom. But yeah, the early aughts, say 2010s, college. But my music tastes are just kind of a collection of like people who were very musically inclined that I'm close with. Like, I had a friend who was very into ska. So I know a handful of Less Than Jake songs just because of him.
But they're still an active band, by the way. You could still see them live.
Maybe I should. But that was like...
Make sure you pick up the horn mix of She's Gonna Break Soon. It's superior to the single version released to radio.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Something he would have told me back then. But you know what I mean? Like,
sure. I'm taking your word for it.
It's like high school, college. Like you were talking kind of hormones. Is it? Do we know that's like a scientific thing or it's just a theory?
No, well, certainly I'm sure there's people that didn't listen to music at all when they were kids and then got into it when they were older. But like love songs, generally, I would gather.
Your favorite love song when you were 16 years old is going to trump anything you hear after that.
Like when I was 34, the love songs didn't hit quite as hard as when I was 14. And I think if I polled the room, I can find it very difficult to believe that anyone would feel differently. Like like you break up with someone when you're in your 30s or 40s or even get divorced. It's not the same as like losing a girlfriend in high school.
Right.
Like, or in college for that matter. Like it all seems so important. And then when you get older, it seems less and less important. Like it doesn't, you don't have the same emotions.
And to answer Andrew's question too, there is science behind it. Like the what you said earlier, Fred, is true, the emotional part of it, but your brain is developing, so that like 14 to 16 range, music's hitting you and it's embedding itself as your brain is developing, so those musical memories become stronger.
Yeah, I believed it. I mean, what you're saying is hitting, to put it a certain way, all the notes in my head, thinking back to high school breakups, college stuff. Oh my God. Like, you would have put me on the injury report for a week, just like heartbreak, out for a week. We'll see you next week. Like, and listening to whatever was going on.
And this is going to be pointed to as like being old, and maybe, but I guess not. It's just that like this notion, like we hear it from Kendra and I heard it from Phil, is like, well, that happened before I was born. And it's like, yeah, but like, don't you ever read about stuff that happened before you were born? Or like go, oh, something cool seemed to be going on at this period of time before I was born in this area. Like maybe that would be something that I would be like somewhat interested in, enough to watch a video on YouTube about, right? Like there's like stuff like, please, people always ask me like what music book to read because I read a lot of them, and I think Please Kill Me is like the best one. But that's set in New York from the time well before I was alive until about the time I was born. But that's my favorite music book because it was so insane what was going on over there.
Have you read Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis?
I have. Did you know he had sex with Lee's sister? And he didn't want to talk about that when you interviewed him. He wrote a book
he didn't want to talk about having sex with his sister?
Okay, so Andrew, you're a writer.
Weird.
So Anthony Kiedis writes this book, Scar Tissue. This happened with Nikki Sixx too. And so the press, like the publishing house, releases excerpts from the book before you interview him. And a big one is obviously he snuck through Flea's sister's window and like banged her. So you're like, oh, hey, publisher sending me. I don't have time to read the 350 pages before I interview him. I got the book 2 days ago. Here are some highlights from the book. And then you sit down with the guy and you're like, oh, you banged Flea's sister. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Okay. Well, what are we talking about here? The book. Okay. Now, is this in the book? This is the exercise I went through with him. Is it in the book? Yes. Okay, so you see the problem here. Well, everyone's focusing on that. Well, here's what the publisher said. Like, they think this sells books. I'm a little confused on what, like, you know, you didn't write a book about the making of Californication and, like, the inspiration behind the songs. You wrote this book about It's a story about statutory rape. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff in there that's unseemly.
The philosophies behind the book. Don't get into the details. Just talk about how great I am for writing a book. And that's what they want.
And the second guy was Nikki Sixx, who wrote a book called The Heroin Diaries, which was about his time as a heroin addict. It's called The Heroin Diaries. It's, when's it said, Fred, exclusively in his heroin addiction. What's it about? His heroin addiction. What else? Nothing. Okay. Comes on the show, BCN. He comes on with some jackass from another crap band, and I ask him about the Heroin Diaries, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. What's going on? Like, I didn't like ask your cousin about something that happened in middle school. This book, The Heroin Diaries, is in my hand, but you don't want to talk about it, and all you talk about is heroin. How everyone knows he died with a needle in his arm. He got out of the hospital. He went and shot up again.
It must make you thankful, Andrew, that athletes, for the most part, don't write books, at least while they're playing, while you're covering them, because then you would have to talk to them about their books, and you would fall victim to these same situations.
I was just thinking, he has written a book, Jim Gray.
Oh yeah,
we'll be getting into him later.
Yeah, I've checked the bestseller list from the last decade.
Interesting. You should bring that name up this morning.
Yeah, we have some Jim Gray audio of him politicking for Belichick. It's very strange.
Wow, that's bowling me over with.
Yeah, I know.
Just shock.
Let me ask you
who was
this.
his friend though? Just because I love the bit, but I was so late to it. Like 10 when you guys were in Arizona. It was
right.
Oprah?
Right. It was Atlanta.
Atlanta. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to see Crash after. It was Oprah and Brady. It was he's just a weird non-talent. Real quick, and then Patriots. What's the best sports book you've ever read? Do you have something that's like by far your favorite?
I don't think so. Can I give you a couple?
Yeah.
So The Genius, which is about Bill Walsh, really, really good. Biography, and then there's When Pride Still Mattered, which is about the early Packers dynasty and just a totally different time in Lombardi, but not in one of these just like leader of men cliche. Like there's some vulnerabilities in there and real parts of a guy who is well rounded as opposed to just like the hard ass winning football coach. Those are two off the top of my head.
Have you ever read the Andre Agassi book? Open?
No.
That's my favorite.
That's a great one. Remember we had passed it on twice, like 2 days in a row, to talk about that Cowboys book.
Yes.
And then the Bad Guys won. The Mets book that Passan wrote is really good too. But those are more like tabloidy. But like they're
Perlman or Passan?
Oh, Perlman. I'm sorry, Jeff Perlman.
No, I knew who you meant, but it's
not Passan. Jeff Perlman. Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, like those are two really like kind of fun books because the characters. I mean, that '86 Mets team is just whoa.
Yeah,
that's just a. Dykstra and Gooden and Strawberry. And,
have you read
his
Tupac book?
No,
that's new.
No, I haven't. That's something I would read though. All right, Andrew. Here we are, AFC Championship game, and I'm asking every writer this. It's an opportunity to praise the team, even though you deal with Patriot fans, so take this for how you will. The thing is that both Herbert and Stroud came in here and crapped themselves. Now, Herbert didn't turn the ball over, really, but they both seemed completely befuddled and completely lost all their control. The Patriots have to be somewhat responsible for that happening 2 weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. What are they doing defensively you're seeing, and it is any different than in the regular season?
So what I think they have is a really good read on each of those quarterbacks and those offenses and how they want to play. So we all know that when C.J. Stroud turns around, has K'Lavon Chase on in his face, should have taken a sack, and instead throws this lollipop that Marcus Jones picks off and takes to the house. There's no scheme for that aside from you just kind of had a free rusher and he made a bad decision. But C.J. Stroud throws his only touchdown against a man blitz in I think the second quarter, and that was their plan. It's like we're going to rush 5 in early downs. We're going to spin the dial on third, but the idea is pressure, because we know you're going to melt inevitably. When he throws that touchdown, they're up 10-7, obviously 2 scoring drives. There's a moment where if you're Zach Core, their defensive play caller, you go, is this really working? Do I have conviction in the plan that we built and studied and put together over 6 days? He said yes, and he was right. And it wasn't just, hey, we'll send the house. These were zone blitzes. These were simulated pressures. You had different creepers, which are 4-man rushers, but come from different places. Standard zone coverage, mat zone coverage. They threw the book at him. So what this defense is doing more than it's ever done against Herbert and Stroud and it has a really good read on what's going to make those guys uncomfortable, in addition to the fact they're getting there, and when they do, that those guys melt. Like, all of that is coming together that has made this not a good half or good 3 quarters, but 4 quarters of something close to defensive dominance through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
All right, so you're Denver, and you've seen this happen for the last couple of weeks. You've got Jared Stidham in at quarterback on Sunday. What do you possibly do to figure out, we trust our defense, so, we can hold them to 17, How are we going to put points on the board? How are they going to do that?
So I haven't seen anything about this since it happened, and forgive me if I missed it, because he might have talked after the game. I was stuck in the press conference room, but I think Carlton Davis had a head injury. If for whatever reason that's a concussion and he's out, there's an area they can kind of pick on a matchup and go away from Christian Gonzalez and keep going there. But let's say Carlton Davis is playing with and miss something.
Okay.
Yeah, but their offensive line is also the best in the league in terms of pass protection. Like, lowest sack percentage, highest at PFF. Stidham will have time in this game, and if Sean Payton has answers to the blitz that Houston and LA did not schematically, he's going to have a lot of time and some options down the field. So first of all, I'm looking for a quick passing game. Where are my best matchups if Carlton Davis is out? It's throwing at Charles Woods or Alex Austin. That's number 1. Then you're going to do whatever Jared Stidham wants to do, which is kind of the mystery of Sunday. Like, what plays in the playbook does he like? Because there are definitely those that he likes better, but we don't know because they're not on tape. Is it moving bootlegs? Is it a certain play-action pass? And that's the stuff they can't prepare for because they don't know. So it's still Sean Payton's system, but there's an element of, where are my best matchups? We're going to keep him protected against the blitz and just kind of make it easy underneath. And that, I think, combination is what they're going to do to play kind of a ball control offense.
I would push back a little bit on the Denver pass protection. Obviously, I'm sure your numbers are right, but it seems to me Bo Nix is pretty good at escaping. Bo Nix is a very good mobile quarterback. Now, whether his arm strength or whatever, but I mean, are you sure the Denver offensive line can't be picked on because it's a different quarterback? He's more of a stationary target.
So they're not a overwhelming run blocking offensive line, but again, they're number 1 in sack percentage and PFF grades when it comes to pass blocking. So this is the tape and some stats in there. And if you're the Patriots, when you look at all the pressure that I just praised them for, given the opportunity to shower their defense with a bunch of flowers and stats, their pressure numbers are coming from the blitz. Like, when it's still just their 4-man rush, a hobbled Harold Landry, Milt Williams, Christian Barmore, and Caleb on Chason, that's only getting there about 20-25% of the time. That's a low pressure rate. When they get there with the blitz, though, it's closer to 50. So again, if Sean Payton has answers, if that offensive line has answers to the blitz, and Stidham has more time, like any quarterback, he's going to have a chance to do some damage. And that's where I think the early battleground is going to be when the Patriots bring extra rushers, because they will. How does Denver handle it?
Well, can Stidham get out of the pocket? I don't know anything about I mean,
he's athletic, dude.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I don't know. Not like I've spent a lot of time looking at Jared Stidham on
the other thing is the Patriots don't know either. What tape are they going to watch? What extensive library of film can they study?
They had him.
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah.
I mean, they had him.
But...
I mean, they probably know him quite well.
McDaniels had him in Vegas for a year, too.
Yeah. I don't think that there's... I think they're pretty familiar with Stidham. Is there anything Stidham does better than Nix? Because Nix is a flawed quarterback. I'm just wondering if there's anything... I know Stidham's way worse.
I think his arm might be a little bit more live.
I think his arm is a better arm than Nix. It's funny, Zolak before the game... I guess it's not funny because it already happened. But he was talking about some things that Stidham was better at, and arm strength was one of them. I mean, listen, that Denver team is in the AFC Championship game, and Bo Nix was their quarterback the entire season. It's a fool's errand to think this isn't an unmitigated disaster for them. But it's just when you try to rack your brain for any excuse for the Patriots to lose this, you go maybe because Nix is so erratic, and Stidham just because of percentages wouldn't be as erratic, but that's not the case. I mean, this is an incredible. You got to take a human element into it. This is an incredible position to put this guy in. He's got to, go start the first game in how long in the AFC Championship game? I mean, it's crazy.
He hasn't thrown a pass in 3 years, right? 3 years.
It's something close to there, yeah. It's just preseason film, which is to say nothing to go off of. I will say this, though. If Jared Stidham can have mistakes that are less damaging than what Justin Herbert had and C.J. Stroud had, if you're Denver, you have to believe you're going to get to Drake May who's taken 10 sacks and had 6 fumbles, and that you'll be able to get a short field like Houston did. And if you go, we just don't have our quarterback run around like a chicken with its head cut off, and Jarrett Stidham, that's enough of an ask that you can fulfill it. They might have a chance here because their pass rush is almost as good, if not as good, as Houston's. And Drake May, again, the ball security has been an issue through 2 games. Like, that's their path here is hang in with an early lead because the Patriots are going to have adjustments to whatever. Okay, Sean Payton's using Stidham this way, whatever. Water will find its level inevitably. But if they get an early lead and then a turnover and Stidham just kind of holds steady, treads water, that's their path here.
Is Peyton, Peyton's one of the best coaches in football. Can he out scheme this situation? Can he, is he brilliant enough to fool the Patriots, in your opinion, for any consistent period of time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a really good stretch against Green Bay. This was highlighted by Ollie Connolly, who does some work for NFL Media. He's actually a British analyst who does really good X's and O's work. And he laid out how, Sean Payton will try to get some early answers to how you're responding to this personnel grouping or this particular coverage. And the Packers were playing, I think it was a quarters coverage, which the Patriots play a fair amount. And this is how they responded on an early play. They get down inside the red zone. He knows what that answer is going to be and has a counter ready for a touchdown. So there's a probing and there's a pacing with his play calling that says, I know what I'll get to eventually given what you've shown me now. And the Patriots like to play that cat and mouse game too with their blitzes. This is how you block it up. When we showed it early, we'll show it later, bail out, and you're screwed. So anyway, it's to say that he's going to be able to give Jarrett Stidham advantages here without question with his play calling. It's just a matter of when. Is it 1st down and 10 at their own 20? Or is it a 3rd down, red zone, high leverage situation? And then what does Jarrett Stidham do with that? Sean Payton's absolutely a threat here to kind of outflank and outfox the Patriots early. The adjustment piece then is going to be a big thing, at least for that offense, because I don't see a world in which the Patriots really win running away. But if they do,
it's harder to think that the Patriots get any kind of a lead early and then Stidham is able to somehow mount a comeback and surpass them.
He might keep pace early, but they can't fall behind in a way that the Patriots get to do all that stuff on 3rd down they did against Houston, against him first, second.
You can't be fumbling in on your own side of the field or allowing big punt returns and stuff like that. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Andrew Callahan, we have him for the hour. buddy, and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Well, I guess it was kind of ironic, just speaking with his agent. They're like, well, if you don't want your starter to get hurt, sign Jared, because that was before yesterday or 2 days ago.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Andrew Callahan from the Herald's here. What do you make of 10 head coaching openings? Harbaugh gets hired, obviously, and then the old BC coach and Saleh,
Jeff Hafley,
are the two guys that get hired. And by the way, I made this point earlier. If his team makes that field goal and beats Pittsburgh, maybe he doesn't get fired. Certainly, I don't think McDermott gets fired if they if they call that interception a completion in the divisional game. But the Green Bay defense craps itself in the second half against Chicago. He gets a head coaching job. And Saleh's defense craps itself against Seattle, and he gets a head coaching job. So the standards for a head coach is much different than the standards for defensive coordinators apparently getting head coaching jobs.
The theory is that the coaching, those that are available, that the talent pool is so thin, people are grabbing at straws. Hafley should be a NFL head coach.
John Harbaugh is one thing, but especially like a retread salad like that. And I understand Tennessee's not a great job, and maybe they were limited in their options. But
Mike McCarthy's interviewing with Pittsburgh tomorrow.
McCarthy's won a Super Bowl, but like, what's going on?
Man, I think it's a couple things. One, it has to be the ownership piece, right? Of just these owners look and go, think we can do better than our coaches. And in some cases, I think obviously they're right. Like the Titans fired Brian Callahan. You can do better than Brian Callahan, even if it's Robert Saleh. Didn't love the hire, but you take what you can get. The other piece is, and this is more Buffalo's case, I think general managers have figured out the most important parts of their jobs are sitting with the owners on Sunday. So when things go well, you get to take the credit for the draft picks and the free agents. And when things go down the crapper, as they did for the Bills late, you go, man, what is Sean McDermott doing down there? Or I would counter with that roster around Josh Allen stinks. And this isn't to absolve Josh Allen for all the turnovers he had in Denver. Did not play well. It's just to say that imagine giving him the Patriots receiving core. Where do you think Buffalo would be right now? Playing for the AFC Championship game.
Right.
And that's not a Sean McDermott thing. That's a Brandon Beane thing.
And by the way, this like Patriots receiving core isn't, the Jerry Rice 49ers. This isn't some, vast collection of all pros. It's just that's how thin they were. And then and their first round picks aren't showing up for practice. And, the ones that they have taken are total pains in the asses. So, yes. They're a little devoid of talent.
And Brandon Beane, this is a stat Ben Solak had from ESPN, has drafted 2 Pro Bowlers since Josh Allen in 2018, James Cook and Dawson Knox. Josh Allen was drafted in 2018. Like that again speaks to, Pro Bowl pick on the measurement, whatever. Just the roster issues that are there. And then you look at the statement that the Bills put out yesterday. Brandon Beane got a promotion. Like the general manager went up and is not only going to lead this coaching search, and if I'm him, this might be a good hire anyway. I picked Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, who you probably have a relationship with, is already in the building, is safe, is going to listen to you, and would be a first-time head coach.
See, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. In Buffalo, it didn't make sense in Baltimore, and it may have been you, Andrew, when we were in here, talking about it after Harbaugh. It's like you look at the failings from the Ravens, and you can look at both the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator first in terms of, what went wrong, because personnel-wise, you certainly had guys in there. And to think that, no, the first place we start with is the head coach here. The way some of these guys not only keep their jobs, and I don't know what they're doing with the coordinators in Baltimore, but the GM in Buffalo, for him to not even be considered on the chopping block but get promoted out of it just seems like lunacy.
So Baltimore I kind of got, because that's the inverse of Buffalo, where you're looking at me like that roster is stacked. What's just going on with them in the playoffs, and I think they're underperforming. But to your point of, Todd Monken probably cost them an AFC Championship game against Kansas City when they had the worst run defense in the league. He's like, Lamar, you know what we're going to do today? Drop back 50 times. And so, they had issues there with their coordinators, but Zach Orr wasn't good for them. Their DC this year. There's a timing part of this too that's just going to happen, where Mike Tomlin walking away, was going to happen inevitably. It just so happens it's the same year that John Harbaugh gets tuned out a little bit in Baltimore, and they go, you know what, it's time for a changing of the guard. I'm super interested, though, to see who those teams land, right? Because they're now jumping into the same waters as your Titans and, whomever else, all these bad teams. And the talent pool isn't overwhelming, again, right now. So who did they get?
It's funny because...
Well, especially with Halfley and Salah off the board.
Yes. Yeah, I heard they were like, Salah will be here the next 20 years. He'll be the fourth coach since 1969. So, the Giants.
John Morton's available from the Lions. Go pick up their OC.
By the way, Brian Flores now apparently the favorite to get the Pittsburgh job. I'm just reading this.
Yeah,
now.
because the thing with the Giants is kind of opposite of what goes on in Pittsburgh, is that the Giants were taking a guy with head coaching experience. Before Harbaugh was fired, Mike McCarthy was supposedly who they were interested in. According to everyone in New York, they did not want another coordinator. We had talked about this a million times. Like, they didn't want another coordinator. They wanted a guy with head coaching experience. So, Pittsburgh always takes a coordinator, and they always seem. But I mean, I know that Flores has head coaching experience, and is not apparently so great. Kind of got that team to hate him pretty quickly in Miami.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the stories out of there make you think he should never be hired again.
Yeah, so I question if the Steelers are going to, because I don't know if it's the stability of the organization or what it is, but they tend to make the right decision, and Flores seems like a real wild card, He seems kind of like Tomlin was like a Tomlin. Tomlin was a disciplinarian and kind of like a CEO type. But he did have the players loved him. I mean, as evidenced by when he told them that he was leaving. I actually gained some respect for Aaron Rodgers for taking some responsibility for that and, feeling bad about it. I honestly didn't know if he was the kind of guy who was capable of that. Like that he did take that personally. Like, I came in here and you left the year I played here, which I did gain a little bit of respect for Aaron Rodgers for. But Flores just seems like that, all that discipline without any of the player relations.
Yeah, and negative relations even with the coaches on his staff. Like, they went through OCs down there like tissue in Miami and just throwing them out left and right. And even, the way that it ended there, he had kind of made his own bed. But then you hear stories years later that Brian Flores has to answer for. Tua Tagovailoa coming out and say we will about Tua. I've said a lot of bad things. He's like, what do you think you would feel when you go to work and your boss is telling you every day you suck? And then you're supposed to go out there in the highest pressure-packed position in sports and perform.
But the bottom line is that what Tua says is all that matters, because he's their quarterback, and if it's not working for him and it's having a negative effect on him, you're a bad coach.
Oh, that's exactly what it was.
Right.
Schematically at another level. And that piece would be really cool to me, is to see Brian Flores bring back Blitzburg, because they haven't been that, no F's given defense in quite a long time. They've been really good. This has been an offensive team. I mean, maybe this year, last year were some exceptions, but the point is, it should fit. He had a year there, maybe built a relationship with the Rooneys, but he's got to change in a way that Kevin O'Connell, who's the opposite, the McVay side, and I'm going to empower you, and we're partners in this with the players. Hopefully that's rubbed off on him a little bit, because if it has, he's got everything else as a coach. But the stuff that went down in Miami, again, made you think, like, this could never work again, and especially in today's league with today's players.
I wondered about that when, his name got floated, and I read that. How many people were saying, well, that's it for him? The guys who get one shot at a head coaching job and then don't get another one. They're pretty few and far between, but I'm sure somebody said that about Flores at some point because of the way things went down.
Yeah, and even Ryan Fitzpatrick, another ex-quarterback of his who, played pretty well when it was his time, was like, look, he burned a lot of bridges there, and he would be surprised, Fitzpatrick would, if some of the old assistants followed Flores wherever he goes next, because just how volatile and sometimes demeaning it got to be in that building. And again, years have passed since. Maybe he's been better. I've only had
also
good interactions
suing the
with
league.
Brian. Yeah, that's more concerned with ownership. But even like if you can't bring
No, that is concerned with ownership, but it's another strike against him.
Yeah, it's the owners who need to hire him to be a head coach.
Right. I would, and that that is a factor. I just put that to the side and go, if you can't bring a staff together that wants to be here with you, and your players that we've heard from are saying things that make us go, what? And maybe they're more offensive than defensive.
Right.
You got to answer for that before we even get to the lawsuit thing.
I want to get back to the game just for a moment here on Sunday. Is Mac Hollins going to play?
I don't know, but it seems like the comments from his teammates suggest that he should be, and we'll see. I mean, if he practices tomorrow, I would feel very good just knowing his level of toughness and fitness generally that he should be good for Sunday. So I think tomorrow's going to be telling.
And what about Denver? And apparently they opened the window for J.K. Dobbins. He's going to start practicing tomorrow. He's been out a couple of months, though, and that is something that would help Jared Stidham a great deal.
Yeah, it would. I just have a hard time with running backs that fresh off the bench. Like, think about how well Ramondre Stevenson is playing right now. He broke 6 tackles against the Texans. You go back to his first game or two against the Bengals and then the Giants, and you're Ugh.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, and he was out for a lot less time than J.K. Dobbins was, with a much less serious injury. Granted, turf toe sounds worse than it is, but point is, I don't think Dobbins is going to be a game changer, especially because the Patriots tackle well. But if you're Denver, no question, you're like, it doesn't hurt us. Let's get one of our more talented running backs back. Sure, of course.
If Hollins comes back, have you ever seen a team this healthy in the AFC Championship or in a championship game?
Yeah, nobody missed practice last Friday.
I mean, it's almost unreal how healthy they are.
But then he played. It is. Fred, though, I got indirectly called out by Vrabel because the last time I did this was before the Cincinnati game. Wrote a column about, hey, look, they just had their first starter, Milton Williams, go on IR.
Was that you?
Yes.
That was you.
I said, this is a historically healthy team. Look at this. Everyone, look at this. What happened next was, see ya, Will Campbell. Goodbye, Jared Wilson. Kyrus Tonga. Oh, no, what's wrong? And everyone.
So this is the healthiest team that you've probably ever seen, right?
Fred, I want to be very clear. I don't know how healthy they are or not historically. They look good. They look okay.
Well, no one wishes injury upon anyone, but you're just saying they're very, very.
He's just protecting himself from another dressing down from Vrabel.
No, I don't.
No,
care
he
about
was
that.
being funny.
I also, yes, A, he was, and B, I was like, not quite the Walter White say my name, but there's only one of us that wrote the column on the beat that week. Point is, they are very healthy. That is, people always forget, a big bellwether and barometer for teams that get here. Oh, what happened? How did you have such a good season? You had your best players available basically all year, and that's true of the Patriots.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how healthy they are right now. All right, we will have 2 stats, 1 in 1 lie with our good friend Andrew Callahan in just a moment.
Sports Hub.
Sports Hub.
Any update on Will and just how much?
I don't have an update on anybody right now, unfortunately. I appreciate you guys all talking about the injuries this week, so thanks.
2 2 2 2 2 to 2 steps. 1 1 1 the 1 1 the 1 line. 2 2 2 to 2 2 to 2 steps. 1 line 2 steps 1 line.
Hey, we are a show by the name of Toucher and Hardy. Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald is here. He has a series of lies and truths, and we have to guess which is the lie and which are true. I won the big 3-lie thing yesterday, so I think I'm...
Last week. Not yesterday, dummy.
Oh, it wasn't yesterday?
No. It was a week ago today. Andrew Callahan's here every Tuesday. Let me get to this.
I would have been here if you wanted me
As
yesterday.
you fumble around the English language. Fred has 6, John has 7, I have 4.
And the 3-lie thing is now off the table for these last 3 weeks.
All three lies have been done away with. Horrible idea. It will not be done again next year.
Now, to give us credit, he's only done it 3 times, and we've sniffed him out twice of those 3 times.
Well, 2 of you have sniffed it out. 1 of you has not, and that is the guy who wants the rule change.
Whatever.
I'm not mad.
Does anybody want...
Don't put down I'm mad. I'm not
Fred,
mad.
do you want 3 lies to be on the table next year?
No.
John, do you want it?
No, I do not.
Okay.
No.
All right, so what is the scoring again?
John has 7. We're all about the same. We're all about the same. Let's
no,
go.
that's not true.
John has 7.
You have 6. I have 4.
Well, it's not that crazy.
And he's out next week, so this is...
Oh,
I mean, he had a very slim chance, but now it's really down to you two.
I'll be calling in. My cruise itinerary has me, I think, open all day on Tuesday.
Oh, good.
So I can listen
Fantastic.
in and vote.
Yeah. Get up, listen to the show. Put it on in the
I
background.
will. I'll
Maybe do a little studying.
I get Wi-Fi in the ship. It'll be fun.
Now, is your wife coming with you?
No.
Oh, so it's just you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I mean,
Do you know
I'll
anyone else on it?
I'll know a couple of people on it. Yeah.
Okay. Because you could have a lot of solo time.
Yeah. Yeah. A little too much.
Yeah. That's rough. How long is the cruise?
5 days.
Okay. It could be worse.
You'll be all right.
All right. Let's go. Andrew Callahan, let's make with the 2 stats and 1 lie. I could tie things
All right,
up
testing
today.
1 2 3. Let's do this. It takes 2 steps from the other night. And 1 line, see if you can get it right.
All right, Andrew, let's get to it. What are our options today?
Just don't forget about the playoff bonus 3-lie edition that we talked about.
That's right.
No.
Could be.
No.
Could be today. Number 1. After Sunday's game, Marcus Jones has more career touchdowns than Zoe.
That includes passing, obviously.
Includes all touchdowns. Yep. After Sunday's game, Marcus Jones has more career touchdowns than Zoe.
Okay.
Number 2. The Patriots have never won at Denver in the playoffs. Number 2. The Patriots have never won at Denver in the playoffs. Number 3. Drake May's 10 sacks this postseason are more than Tom Brady ever had in a single playoff run. Drake May's 10 sacks this postseason are more than Tom Brady ever had in a single playoff run.
All right.
All right. Well, John has to go first again.
All right.
He should be able to know, too, because of his age, and this isn't a joke, because of his age and fandom.
The Patriots have never won at Denver in the playoffs. That is true. So 2 is out.
So that's the most obvious one, which concerns me, but go ahead.
Did they, before 85, so I guess the 84 season, or 85 seasons, because it was 86 Super Bowl, did they ever... Did they win a playoff game before that? In the 70s, they must have won a playoff game.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not sure. But I do know they went to Denver once before that and lost to John Elway. They were winning in the third quarter, and Elway brought Denver back and beat them.
But were they like a wild card in the 70s ever?
Yeah, there's a very famous playoff game. They should have beaten the Oakland Raiders. I don't know if you remember the name Ben Dreith, roughing the passer.
No, I don't remember.
But
that.
anyway, it's very famous for older Patriots fans. I don't know if they won a playoff game in the 70s. But either way, they've never won in Denver. Denver's been a house of horrors for them, so 2 is absolutely true. The Marcus Jones has more career touchdowns than Zoe. I'm not sure about that, but I want that to be the case, so I think that's true. I'm saying number 3 is the lie.
All right, since I am in second place, I'm saying 2's the lie. Because it would be so obvious. I think they probably won a game. Like, does the AFL count?
They won.
Does the AFL count?
Never, ever.
Okay, so the AFL counts. So I am saying they have one in Denver. Because the Zoe thing is obvious. I think Mark, and then
I don't care if it's obvious or not. I'm rooting for that to happen. So
I'm saying 2 is the lie. Okay. He's checking his phone.
See,
so
that one,
something's going on.
And again, that one was so obvious, which makes me feel that is the lie also. Now, when it comes to the sacks, 10 sacks that Drake May has taken in this postseason, more than Tom Brady has in an entire postseason, I immediately thought, well, Brady probably took more at some point because there are 2 games left. But a lot of those years, Brady didn't have to play in the wild card round, so it's only really one more game that he would have under his belt to get those sacks. So I'm going to, as much as I would like to try and gain ground on both you guys, I think Fred is right. I think 2 is the lie.
So, for the record, the Patriots started as a franchise in 1960. The first Super Bowl was 66. So when you're like, oh, AFL, you're talking about a period of time that's like 6 seasons before the Super Bowl era.
Yeah. So try and throw me off the scent even more. It's not going to happen.
It's not like the Cardinals have been around for over 100 years.
Yeah.
No. But what he's saying is since the founding of the franchise, which is in 1960, have they won a playoff game in Denver?
Right. It's not like saying that about the Lions who've been playing since
who've
the
been
30s.
playing, or like the Steelers that were around in like the 1800s. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm still with you. I don't want to. I want to go 1. I would love it if that were true, that Marcus Jones has more touchdowns than Zoe. But
so you said 1's the lie.
No, I'm going with you. I'm saying
so
2.
You do think Marcus Jones has more touchdowns than Zoe?
I think he has the same number.
Okay.
Well, I think he has the same number of touchdowns.
Okay.
As
So
Zoe.
you and I are both saying 2's the lie,
and John is saying 3 is the lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough week, gentlemen. Fred had a chance to gain ground, and he did not. Number 1 was the lie.
Wow, 2 is pretty obvious then. He outsmarted us. Well, that's disappointing.
I so badly wanted 1 to be true.
Why do we have to be so clever? Why do we think that we're what?
You know what he did is he used our own brains against each other.
It's honest to God what I did. I go like this is
so
a
obvious.
Layup. Yeah, like Wallach's gonna know, but 50-50, whatever. And then you made the AFL point.
60s.
That was a lifeline of like it was only 6 years. Don't worry about it. AFL is not some big Scooby Doo reveal. It was just like. Okay,
yeah, but I mean,
seasons.
it's so obvious, and then you think about like no one knows what went on in the AFL. Like no one, like really, there's no, you know, not sitting down watching a lot of documentaries about the AFL. It's you know,
if Zolak is listening right now, we may blow this thing up like right away. But what are the touchdown?
He might blow you up.
What are the touchdown? Hello. What are the touchdown numbers for Marcus Jones?
So Marcus Jones now has 7 career touchdowns, 3 pick sixes, 3 punt return touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. Zoe has 8 passing touchdowns over his career. So Marcus Jones, hot on Zoe's heels. Patriots have never won in Denver in the playoffs. Had that loss in the 80s that John mentioned. They've had 3. They did have 3 in the Brady-Belichick era. Number 3, Drake May's 10 sacks this postseason are more than Tom Brady ever had in a single playoff run. Mind you, this included 3 game runs that included a loss to the Giants in the Super Bowl where he took 5 sacks, and then a loss at Denver in the 2015 AFC Championship game where he also had 5 sacks.
See, that's what I was thinking. Brady got Brady got beaten up that day. It was like 18 or 19 quarterback hits. He took more punishment in that AFC Championship game than he ever had before.
The most he's ever had was 9. And then again, that was a 3-game stretch. And then before that was 8. But never 10 like Drake May has right now.
Got rid of the ball so quickly. Just was that fire, death by 1,000 cuts kind of offense that was very difficult to watch. All right, Andrew Callahan.
Got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 line. He's got 1 line.
Somebody thought this was a
Andrew's
dolphin.
got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats.
Who thought
but
that?
he's got 1 line. He's got 1 line.
An emailer emailed me wanting to know if I could send him a copy of the Adolfo 2 stats 1 line.
What parody would Adolfo pick?
Oh, something esoteric that he had come across once in Google.
Elliot Smith.
All right. Thank you, Andrew Callahan. Jim Gray, who you remember from the Atlanta Super Bowl when he tried to get me fired. He is back on his very popular show, advocating for the most obvious thing in the history of the world for him to advocate for. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the
Paisley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots players have today off. They'll be back at practice tomorrow. They visit the Denver Broncos this Sunday afternoon in the AFC Championship game. Mac Hollins could return for the Patriots this coming weekend. And the Broncos yesterday opened up the 21-day window on running back J.K. Dobbins. He suffered a bad foot injury in early November. In other NFL news, Miami yesterday hired former Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley as their new head coach. And then last night, Tennessee hired former Jets head coach turned San Francisco assistant Robert Saleh. In college football news, Indiana won their first ever national championship last night. They beat Miami 27-21 in South Florida. Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza's 12-yard touchdown run on fourth down put the Hoosiers ahead to stay. Celtics lost in Detroit 104-103. Jaylen Brown scored 32 points but missed a fall away at the buzzer that would have won the game. Celtics split their 4-game road trip. They're back home to play Indiana tomorrow night. Brown was also voted an NBA All-Star starter yesterday for the very first time. And the Bruins will be in Dallas tonight to play the Stars. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. With over 50 trucks on the road, because your clogged drain is their emergency, go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
You actually coaching the game, or it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got? What do we got?
The Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, it was great working with a lot of young players. I saw a lot of improvement, both off the field in their training, conditioning, strength, explosion, all that, and then on the field in terms of technique, communication, and so forth. So, you know, we didn't really have a recruiting class last year. And a lot of new players, 70 new players start the season. This year, we're going to be in much better shape in terms of having some continuity and building forward through spring ball. I'm excited about that.
You enjoyed coaching younger fellas as opposed to the pros? Like, was that something you were excited?
You know, I like all of them. It's great. You know, it's great to see young guys improve, like rookies in the NFL, but it's great to work with the great players, you know, like the Tom Brady's and the Rodney Harrisons and guys like that, too. So it's all good.
It's all good, baby. It's all good. It's all good for Belichick. 10 head coaching openings. No Bill Belichick.
Not even a sniff, not even a Tom Pelissero or Adam Schefter rumor, not even they're considering him, nothing.
And it's just because he's a dick, and that's it. And that's really it. He's a dick. He's such an a-hole that he couldn't even get an interview.
Think about this. Atlanta had him in there, decided not to bring him in because they would have had to blow up their front office. We're going to go with Raheem Morris. Yes, he's a retread, but it's a safe call. We're going to keep our GM in place. That failed spectacularly. So instead of pivoting and going, you know what, maybe that was the right way to go, they still didn't call him and hired somebody else.
Or you're forgetting about when he called the Jets.
Right.
And asked the Jets, who he hates so much. He hates the Jets so much. When he called them to gauge their interest in if they wanted to hire him. And they said, no, we'd rather take Aaron Glenn than you.
Yes.
How about that? How about that? All right. Well, Jim Gray's a real piece of garbage, too.
Yes.
By the way, we were touching Hardy. You can watch this on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. If you'll recall, you have this, Hardy. The Super Bowl in Atlanta many years ago, we sat down. Okay, so here's what was happening. It was the end of the show on Friday, and people are just walking around. And as these Super Bowls keep going by, less and less people walking around. I got news for you. Not great guess. Every year, dramatically worse. And so we're like sitting around, and that's Jim Gray. Everyone knows Jim Gray. He's the dick from the decision.
The Decision.
And the dick from the Pete Rose All-Star Game thing. He's just like, but kind of, I didn't even think of him as a dick. I'm just like, whatever. It's Jim Gray. It was 9:30, and Crash was waiting for me at the CNN atrium to have beers.
And there was an Arby's there, too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And we might have gotten
Arby's.
Arby's and had beers. I think they might have even had beer at Arby's.
Yeah.
So Crash was done with his shift, and I was waiting for him. He was waiting for me, and we were going to drink. And Jim Gray sits down, and this obviously happened.
Well, I know Tom.
Right.
Oprah knows Tom. Stedman knows Tom. Oprah knows my wife.
We're all friends, so why not have a dinner? So that's what that was.
Okay, so you got there really early for dinner then?
Perhaps they ran late.
Well, it was the beginning of the... this is very secretive.
No, I mean, I don't know what you're trying to get to the end point. I mean,
all right,
what are you trying to figure out?
Don't worry about it. You don't want to be here. All right.
We'll have the headlines.
Real quick. Are the questions when you...
That's what you wanted?
No, you just won't answer any questions. It's boring. I mean, you're being defensive and looking at me weird.
All right. It's a stupid question.
But real quick. All right, then I don't want to ask you...
question.
Okay,
what
it's
were
a
you
stupid
doing?
question.
What were you doing having dinner with somebody?
No, we didn't know you were having dinner.
I just told you, and you didn't like the answer.
Well, oh, Jesus, Jim, just go. Do whatever you have to do. Bye. Here's the headlines.
Good luck to you.
The aftermath, however, was almost as funny as that.
He did not mean good luck to me at all. What he meant was, I'm going to
try to good luck to you.
I'm going to try to get you fired. And what was funny was he thought he could get me fired by calling Westwood One, who was in no way, shape, or form my employer. But the one of the guys at Westwood One was my program director's employer. So, or was my brother, the brother of our program director.
Yes.
But it was just funny. Jim Gray thought he could get me fired. Like Jim Gray, because I was rude to him, and he was being rude to me. He was being a dick. What you don't know is there was a special on Tom Brady that Oprah did. And Tom Brady went to Oprah's house, wherever the hell it is, like whatever,
Santa Fe.
Like, yeah, whatever. So here's Tom Brady and Oprah, and Giselle's there. And then, like, lurking in the back is Jim Gray.
Yeah, he had headphones on. He was standing next to the camera.
So when he sat down, I went, oh, yeah, you were in this Tom Brady thing that just came out. So if you're any normal human being with any kind of self-effacing quality, you would go, Oprah Winfrey's one of the most famous rich people on the planet. Tom Brady's one of the most famous athletes on the planet. And then there's me.
And then there's Giselle.
Oh, and Giselle, who's one of the biggest models on the planet. And then there's me, Jim Gray. So you would go, if it was me, I go, oh, yeah. I do some work with Tom. It's crazy. Like, yeah, I get into these situations where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, here's Oprah and Giselle and Brady. And then when I found out I was on the thing, I'm like, which one of us doesn't belong? Kabump bump. Little fun little self-effacing comment. Or I just go, yeah, I work with Tom and I happen to be at that shoot. And it was just this thing where Oprah was interviewing him and I just wanted to hear what was going on. That's a more straightforward answer. Doesn't require being self-effacing. No, he had to be a dick about how it all just makes such sense. But then there's this Tao of... Gary Shandling book that Judd Apatow put out. And Gary Shandling, the great comedian and actor, used to have these basketball games at his house. And the fold out of the book is a centerfold of one of the shots of the teams after a game. And there's Jim Gray in there, too.
Yeah.
So somehow he worked himself into one of the most brilliant comedic minds in the world's orbit.
Oh, Jesus, Jim, just go. Do whatever you have to do.
Yeah, every time I hear it, I feel more justified. And they didn't want to put it on the internet, which was ingenious because it went super viral. And we had to convince them to get him to put it on. I remember walking through the Atlanta airport, talking to Thomas, going like, in fairness, he relented, but going like, you know, you have to put this on the internet. Like, this is nothing happened that was bad other than him being a dick. And even
Hey, we're back, everybody.
And even if I was
go.
the dick, at least it's content, like, get it out there. But anyway, Jim Gray's got that show that Hardy just played.
Let's go. Hey, we're back, everybody. Here we go.
What energy. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. So it used to be with Tom Brady, and it was terrible. And now I don't even know who's on it. And I'm not being cute. I don't know who's on it. And I don't care. No one's saying it in my ear. John, don't correct me. I don't want to know. But I take it's a player. But he had Peter King on, and Peter King, loves to have one IPA and then write about it. And here's Peter King, who I don't have a problem with Jim Gray, who I have a huge problem with. And Jim Gray's career has been going gangbusters. Here we go. Here is Jim Gray.
Welcome back to Let's Go. I'm Jim Gray. Always happy to be joined by the Hall of Famer, Peter King. We got a lot to discuss as we continue here. Peter, the great Peter King, against.
Yeah. When you see Tom Brady, what do you want to get a look at?
Peter, the great.
Oh, the great Peter.
Throw, Tommy.
That was, by the way, that was on the beach in some very secluded resort.
I thought that was Montana.
Oh, yeah. If you want to know why Jim
place.
Gray's there, he was working for Tom Brady. So when he was like Tom Brady Productions, whenever Tom did any horrible thing that failed, which did, like TB12 brand.
Now he finally
TB12,
gave that up earlier this week.
Well, no, he gave up TB12 brand a long time ago. Remember those awful Brady clothes that he thought were going to sell?
Yeah.
And then, he just gave up the whole TB12 thing last week. But every dumb entree before he got the job at Fox that Tom Brady tried to independently produce was an awful idea, and Jim Gray was involved. So, and you would just hear this, you go, how is someone so famous failing so badly? Just get a job with a media company, dude. They'll pay you hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know why you have to own it, but he's an entrepreneur and a hustler. Mm-hmm. Notice how that got him nowhere until he got a corporate gig. All right, so anyway, here we go.
Peter, the great Peter King, against the wishes of one of our co-hosts, who has said he's staying in North Carolina. If you're the Buffalo Bills, Mr. Pagula, you hire Bill Belichick tomorrow and you do whatever it takes. He's proven he can win with a proven quarterback. Not only proven it, he's done it better than anybody. He is the greatest coach in the history of the National Football League with 6 Super Bowl championships as a head coach, 8 overall.
And that's real insider knowledge, too, by Jim Gray. Like, that's a guy who knows him, He's got all the facts. He's not reading them either. Like, he knows them off the top of his head. 6 Super Bowl rings. Not everyone would have that off the top of their head. These guys that are in the bag, he has got the worst people in the bag for him. I'll tell you that. He's between that moron he's got as the GM of that stupid North Carolina team and Jim Gray, he's got 2 real idiots, 2 big brain dead losers. Maybe that's why his kids got to be his coordinators. Because ultimately, too much brains coming from anyone else. Even though I don't have a problem with his sons. I have to get that on the record. In fact, I like one of their wives very, very much. She's not afraid to call out
she's
Mr. Belichick.
She's got to figure it out.
For acting up.
If you're making any other call than Bill Belichick, and I don't care what the circumstances are, how they fought against Buffalo, coming back into the same division.
Yeah, that would be the issue. That's like when he called the Jets. It would be he wouldn't want to take a job in the division, or Buffalo would not hire a coaching candidate based on their affiliation with the Patriots because they don't like the Patriots so much. Again, brilliant analysis.
Chess.
Only you can get from what I imagine is a paid slot. My understanding of how this runs is that Let's Go is that he buys the time, that he's got sponsors like steakhouses and stuff, and that he buys the time. I can't imagine Jim Gray's compensated by the actual company that's running Let's Go. I don't even know where. I don't even know what it's on anymore.
Here we go.
It used to be on Sirius. I don't hear it anymore.
Whatever you think or don't think, you better start thinking that this guy can answer and resolve a lot of your issues.
You asked me when the Giants fired Daboll, the Giants have to call Bill Belichick. They have to do it. And which I agree. To me, part of fact finding in this particular case is making sure that you have checked in with Bill Belichick and you have asked him, listen, Bill, can you give me 4 years?
Yeah, until you die. Can you survive? Well, that's up to God to answer, my friend Peter King, as you would know as well as anyone else.
Yeah, the answer is definitely no.
You have to do fact finding. Fact finding what? That he was a failure at North Carolina, that he's such a dick that he can't even get job interviews, that even the lowly Jets, when he came knocking at their door begging to be recognized, wouldn't even answer to him. Yes, you two have... For 2 huge insiders, you certainly seem very stuck in 2001. This doesn't seem like your opinions on things have evolved very much. Yeah, and by the way, the Giants really struck out after Daboll. They fired Daboll. They just settle on John Harbaugh, who's 12 years younger. What a failure by them.
I want to know what your thought process is right now.
Well, it's that I have I'm banging an idiot child. And I'm letting her run the whole operation.
No.
That's what I'm doing.
Talking about this.
That's what I'm doing.
Maybe you should.
I'm having sex with a 24-year-old idiot.
No.
That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? And not only that, because I know a lot of you are too, because you're billionaires and all, but mine, I let have all the money and run everything. So that's where I got you beat. So you can tell I'm still on the ball. Oh, that and my daughter-in-law screams at me in public.
But because I don't want to hire a Scotch tape head coach. But can you give me 4 years, absolute minimum 3? And what are you thinking about? And I don't know what Bill would say.
Yeah, Bill probably go no. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Considering the lack of interest, I'm sure Bill.
Well, considering that he was sitting on the college game day desk before the national championship game, and they asked him about what's it like coaching in college, and how is that, and he's like, well, it's okay, but I love coaching guys like Tom Brady and having rookies, coming up in the NFL. He's actively campaigning to get a job back coaching in the NFL when he's there to celebrate college football. Oh, what do you think he's going to say? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, well, in fairness, I mean, if you look at the resume from last year, you have a you can't expect the next coach of the New York Giants to beat TCU, UCF, Clemson, California, Virginia, Wake Forest, Duke, or NC State. These are things that are an impossibility, especially when Indiana won the national championship. And what is Indiana's had their head coach for how long, Jonathan?
This is the end of his second season.
Yeah. And what did he do in his first season?
He lost 2 games.
Ah, really?
Yes.
And what's a better football program historically? North Carolina, while not great, North Carolina or Indiana?
North Carolina by a lot.
By a long shot.
Yes.
So
Indiana historically bad.
Well, Indiana's league almost didn't belong playing football in the Big Ten.
Yeah, Signetti, I believe, is 27-2 in 2 years.
Oh, well, but the most brilliant. If anything, I want him. I don't. What do I want Belichick for? With the transfer, and he had money in a transfer portal and everything, and he can only cobble together 4 wins, 2 are against Charlotte and Richmond.
They bringing a loser to another loser town.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, humiliate himself over and over again over the course of the year too.
Yes.
He can't stop humiliating himself either because he had to pimp up a book that no one bought. That's another big victory in his column.
Correct.
Thank you. And they sold that at the airport. You know how hard it is not to get a book to sell when they have it at the airport?
It's impossible.
When it's one of 6 books at the airport?
It's impossible.
Thank you, Bill. I do appreciate it. I've missed making fun of you. You've become kind of a non-story with no one liking you for any of these jobs.
Yeah, I really don't know what, but I would want to know, and I'm not saying even if he said yes, that absolutely you'd hire him, but
then you would know he had 3 years to kick around. What the hell waste of time is that?
I do agree with you. I think your fact-finding has to include a call to Chapel Hill.
I think it's more than fact-finding. I think you got Josh Allen. If anybody felt negative about that, then they just don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Because he beat your brains in forever. Now he can come back and go against a place where there's clearly some form of tumult over the way he left. And he could go back into that.
Do whatever you have to do.
Well said, Jim.
Here's the
Good luck to you. So, again, here is the great Jim Gray, the great orator. Let's just review his comments about this one more time.
Now he can come back and go against a place where there's clearly some form of tumult over the way he left. And he could go back into that division. Boy, would that certainly be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be fascinating. What is he saying? That he could play the Patriots?
I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, it would be fascinating to have Belichick go up against the Patriots.
And not only would you lose like North Carolina, you could also humiliate yourself publicly constantly over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if the NFL is when he would actually draw the line and not let his girlfriend on the sideline.
Every NFL team is knocking themselves over for that PR nightmare.
Take me making fun of Bill Belichick out of the way. If you're an owner, there's not in a trillion, million, billion years any way that you're hiring Bill Belichick. There's not. It's not happening.
Hanging on to and promoting their GM, you're going to bring in a guy who is going to insert himself into that process and also be your head coach after his success.
He's
at
an
North
old
Carolina.
dick
Get outta here.
that's lost
Get
control
outta
of his
here.
personal life. That was a disgrace at North Carolina. Now you're going to give him a multi-billion-dollar operation to run? No, you're not. That's ridiculous. And this is foolish talk.
That would be all of a sudden.
What would it be?
Jim, this is all against Bill's wishes, who said he's wanting to stay in North Carolina and coach the Tar Heels. But
and maybe
this
if he
job
got
wasn't
that phone
open,
call,
this job wasn't open when he was making those proclamations.
But maybe if he, Jim, well, all I'm saying is that at the very least, you got to make the phone call. You got to find out.
Need a romantic getaway, weekend retreat, or just a day of fun? Golden Nugget Hotel and Casinos offer the perfect destination for the ultimate getaway.
And that is the kind of billionaire
care.
that is listening to the Golden Nugget Casino in Old Vegas, correct?
Yeah, that's big money behind it.
Enjoy whores with 7 adult children? The Golden Nugget is for you. He's the worst. And what entertaining show.
Hey, we're back, everybody. Here we go.
It's just good stuff from Jim Gray. How this is in existence or how the Golden Nugget has somehow been bamboozled into that, I don't know. But there you go. Like hot dogs, come to the Golden Nugget Casino. All right. We will be back in just a moment with the award-winning email segment.
Here's the headline.
Good luck to you.
should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right. The email segment is brought to our good friends, Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777. Or visit gottagetglassman.com if you'd like to email us. Ladies and gents, you may commence on doing so by going to 985thesportshub.com and follow us on socials at Toucher and Hardy, at Hardy985, and at Fred Toucher.
All right. Super Bowl right there in front of you with the Patriots taking on Jared Stidham and the Broncos in Denver. They get a win, they're Super Bowl bound. Fred, you're still on the fence as to whether or not you would like to do the show that entire week from San Francisco. Is that an accurate assessment of your take on this?
No, my feelings on that are that no.
Oh, you don't want to go.
No.
Kenneth says the solution for you guys going to the Super Bowl and not going on air at 3 a.m. local time is simple. Swap shows with Joe Murray. He stays local and does 6 to 10 a.m., and you guys do his show from the West Coast, 3 to 7 p.m. West Coast time. You have one Bruins game in the mix, and the Celtics play Fridays, so you can skedaddle early. What do you think of that idea?
The one problem with that is that they pay us to do a vastly different shift in terms of audience size.
Yeah, but it's just for a week, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Oh, well, so much for that idea. You don't want to consider it at all?
I don't think it's up for our consideration. I think that there is that it's a different shift. It's a shift with a different vibe. Advertising costs a different amount.
What if we could do our show, but since it'll be on in Joe Murray's time slot, do it in the Joe Murray vibe?
Oh, you mean like let just calls ride, like, and we can come in high?
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I could
What
see
you
doing
eating?
that. Yeah, we could. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pull it off. I'm not Joe. See, there's a lot of flaws in that.
We'd all go to different restaurants and report back.
And what's interesting is there is a little bit of chatter about Hardy going, which he really doesn't want to at all. He really, really doesn't want to go. And you guys screwing around on the air with me and making a joke of it, it would give me. Now I'm fighting very much in your favor, but perhaps it would give me a little satisfaction that you have been on air acting as if. You know, like I thought it was funny, but like acting as if like I'm the one who doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl, and then ultimately
I were forced to go?
You were forced to go
right.
and broadcast from a hotel room at 3:00 in the morning. When I guess you would figure we would have a huge audience, relatively based on the fact that the home team and the team that's played on our station is in the Super Bowl. So I would strongly suggest one of the main hosts is in a hotel room 2,500 miles away, 3 hours behind. I think that wouldn't add to the greatest radio. I think the greatest radio would be business as usual right here in studio, where we can interact with each other and all the equipment is on hand, and we get that 3 hours of sleep. Because again, this notion of go be funny at 3 a.m. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go do that then. Like that's not. It's not. It's hard. That's why. Morning shows don't start at 3:00 in the morning. It's not an hour where people are up and being funny. And you could argue that 6:00 is not an hour where people are up or being funny, but enough people think so that we've been able to hang around for a while.
All right, we got this email that John alerted me to from Not Gary Tangway.
Yeah.
Subject line: Happy birthday, Paul Stanley.
Oh yeah.
He says, Mrs. Lloyd has donned full Kiss makeup for the day in honor of Paul Stanley's birthday. I know you'll be celebrating too.
Mrs. Lloyd.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lloyd.
I wrote Kiss in the Fan with the park.
Oh, you wrote that?
Yeah, I was like, let's get these kids in a crazy amusement park.
Now, did
and
you
give
write
them all
the
kinds of superpowers?
Did you write the book, the novel that it is based on, or did you write the screenplay?
No, it's based on Kafka. It's got a lot of undertones that the kids didn't get, but that was part. It was a Trojan horse sitch. We wanted to get a lot of wild Russian ideas in there, but we wanted to carry it through a 70s rock group. It's funny because Ace didn't show up, and you can see that there's a black guy in the Ace makeup, which actually is true in Phantom of the Park. Ace got so wasted that he didn't show up for one of the days of shooting, so they shot without him, and his extra is an African-American gentleman who is in the Ace makeup, and you can plainly see it's a black guy because his skin is showing. Because Ace's costume didn't cover up all his skin.
Sure.
Like his neck.
Here's an email I don't quite believe. This is from Matthew. It says, you guys were talking about Gary Shandling. Every time he comes up, I think of an incident in Providence years ago. Some friends were standing in front of his limo outside of the PAC, and Gary started laying into them. So one cold-cocked him, and he fell face first into a police horse. Now, violence is not the answer. I never thought Shandling was very funny. Enjoy the day. So you're telling me that a bunch of guys down in Providence were blocking Gary Shandling's limo.
Sounds that way, yeah.
He got out, got into an altercation with him. One of these people punched Gary Shandling, and Gary Shandling fell into a horse.
Well, it's like
Let's all love this horse.
I'm not sure I believe that. I'm not sure I believe
it's
that.
true. Oh, well, no. Gary Shandling was rushed to Providence St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica after suffering a medical emergency at his home.
Yeah, I Googled it too. Gary Shandling assault Providence, Rhode Island.
There's no way that happened. But what did happen is the Boston beatdown videos that used to come out when I was in Atlanta and scared me a little bit about Boston. They had all these like hardcore kids that were getting stabbed and everything, or stabbing people. And Moby got out of a limo and they cold-cocked him, and they have it on video. Yeah, and Moby claims to have been an old hardcore kid, so he was very confused with the violence.
You know what I thought of yesterday, just out of nowhere, was the video of Glenn Danzig arguing with a guy backstage.
Oh, he gets laid out, yeah.
And he gets the big dude from some band who got bumped off the bill because Danzig showed up late and pushed them out of their slot so that they could end up performing, and they're arguing backstage. And Glenn Danzig, who is a little man, pushes this bigger dude because he's had enough. And it's like, an internet fight video. You see the guy takes one swing at Danzig and knocks him out cold. Knees buckle, he's down.
There's a lead singer from a band called the North Side Kings who were like you said, like undercard on the bill.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is the best video of Glenn Danzig is there's a black and white video that's been parodied, and you probably have seen parodies of it and not realized maybe what it was. It's this black and white thing where Glenn's got his shirt off, and he's sitting in his library, and he's going through all the books of the occult that he has collected, and it is very spooky, very, very spooky.
Taller, Danzig or Ronnie James Dio? Who's taller?
Oh, that's a real underdog. Oh, I don't know. I've never met either of them, but I'm assuming they're both under 5'5".
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what brought it up for me. Is it
Sully
hard to
Erna?
say?
You throw that in the batch there too. If you
Okay.
want really undersized lead singer guys, really do that.
Taller, Dio or Danzig, Hardy?
I think Danzig.
I don't know. He's pretty small, but you can't Google it because there's no way you're going to get a proper measurement. There's no way that any of of any of it's correct.
Okay.
Because there's no way.
Okay.
Historians say.
According to the Ronnie James Dio, 5'4".
Okay.
Glenn Danzig, 5'3".
Oh.
So I'm
you go.
guessing 5'3" and 5'2". So maybe Dio does get it by a follicle. It's not as funny without the video.
The children not to scream and words, the queen what they say, mother.
The shred videos are some of my favorite things.
Yeah, but you need the video.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like a guy just singing bad. It's this guy's when they show the guitar, they have a guy playing the guitar poorly. When they show Danzig, they have to sing.
The best thing about the Glenn Danzig shred is that it's not that far off from the original song. Like the Beach Boys ones are terrible, and obviously the ones that they do for the Coldplay and the Rolling Stones, they're way off. But I
loved that Danzig album when I was a kid. I thought that Danzig album was the greatest.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it.
Twisted Cane.
Twisted Cane. It doesn't really go anywhere if you listen to it as an adult. It doesn't. It kind of just sticks in that very simple riff.
So I loved that, and around the same time, the Cult Electric. Loved that album.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Yeah. All right, Johnny, got any emails? I've done all of them so far. Do you have one?
You read the two that I was going to read. I
Do you have any
have a
more
lot
in
of
your inbox?
I do.
Just
I have
by coincidence.
Yeah.
all of them. All of them have to do with Dondero, so I could start picking them off one after another. Hey guys, could you please let us know when you're having Dondero on the show? I agree with him, and I think the show would greatly benefit from him teaching you the ways of elite energy. Also, the YouTube audience would enjoy the increased spit takes. Thanks and great show, Randy and Mansfield.
And I have their names right here. Let's just say their names. Mina, Ryan, Hannah, Dan, and Marcus.
Someone says, what's gotten into John? He says, again, at 6 a.m., it was John Wallach in the morning featuring Toucher and Hardy, kind of a buzzkill.
I think that was yesterday.
The show. That was yesterday. Did you read that one yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
I read all of them.
All of them.
No, did you read it on the air?
All of them.
Oh, okay. All right. See, for me,
all of them.
Email's difficult on the account of Blind Scott.
Yes.
Blind Scott really fills up the... you want to just read the first one that came up? This got sent at 9:41. What time is it now? Oh, 9:42. I have infiltrated some of the Fred Toucher hate groups in the YouTube chat and have made friends with them on my burner accounts to study how they think. So Scott is in the middle. He's doing a sociological experiment with YouTube. He's made some burner accounts to infiltrate how these guys think. The internet has brought us so much good. So much good. Finally, someone can do a case study on the people of YouTube and find out how they think.
There was one from yesterday from Blind Scott, just out of nowhere. My Little Pony is about community and supporting each other and letting everyone know that you care. Adults enjoy it because it's nostalgia from their childhood. What I did with My Little Pony over the weekend was more exciting than this New England Patriot cutoff because he writes everything in the subject line.
Well, that's something I don't care to investigate any further, so that's good. All right, very good. Thank you to everyone that emailed in. We'll be back in just a moment to end this.
Too much, maybe?
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
It'll be the Patriots and Broncos in Denver this Sunday in the AFC Championship.
located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease officers. Lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial.
We have our referee assignments.
Screw job.
Alex Kemp has been assigned as referee for the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and Broncos. He was in Foxborough for the divisional round as backup/support to referee Sean Smith. He's been with the league for 11 years, promoted to referee in 2018. Digging a little deeper, Kemp is an insurance agent from Greenville, Michigan. He officiated in the Big Ten for several seasons as side judge and referee. Worked several postseason games as a Big Ten side judge.
Did you hear Zolak in the pregame say that his dad gave Gene Sarator his first job?
No.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said his dad, because his dad was like a high school football coach, so I guess his dad gave him like a job officiating in Western Pennsylvania football. So
And
that's just a little connection.
Jerry Trupiano gave Jim Nance his first job in broadcasting.
That's right. And then so I said, well, look at all these ladies on Twitter.
All right. What is this Twitter machine?
Look at this Twitter.
Alex
Kemp.
Kemp.
As far as I can
Look
see.
at that picture.
Home teams are 57-58-2 against the spread in Alex Kemp's career. So almost
I don't care for
perfectly
that.
500. Divisional game stats they have here. Now, Sharp Football Analysis has not done their breakdown for the conference championships yet. I'm just going over his macro stats here. That divisional home teams, 16-19 on the money line, 14-21 against this spread in his career, and 18-17 over the total. But that's just divisional games. So we'll be digging a little deeper on Alex Kemp as the week goes on. Also, Mike Vrabel asked yesterday if the team's going to go out early to Denver to get acclimated to the altitude, which is something I think we all thought was a thing going back years ago.
Well, didn't Belichick used to practice at the Air Force, where Air Force practices, because that's in Colorado, or if it's not in Colorado, it's somewhere where it's like at very high altitude.
Colorado Springs, I think.
Colorado Springs.
If I remember right, that was in between road games there. He had a road game out west and then had to go to Mexico City, so they stopped there.
They stayed there. But it was a couple of years ago, somebody came out and said, you got to be at altitude for weeks, literally, before you really start to adjust. And Vrabel said yesterday, really to have it like any effect at all, they would have had to have left last week and be out there for more than a week to, have any kind of acclimation. And he said, we couldn't do that. We had a game to play on Sunday.
I like that Rocky Mountain High.
Hell yeah.
I like that remember all those free reefer jokes or legal weed
Hell
jokes?
yeah.
Those were funny. Anytime anyone mentioned Colorado, and then they would act like weed was like the craziest thing in the world.
Chill.
Look at how the world's changed since weed got legalized. It's almost like no one wants it anymore.
Anyway, Vrabel said the team's going to leave on Saturday. Normal travel. We're just going to fly on Saturday, play the game on Sunday, come home, get ready to go to San Francisco. Well, he didn't say that.
No.
What is he? What is he? A funny boy? You can't wait to get to San Francisco. You know how it goes over there. A little tight in the trousers. You know what I'm saying?
Can't wait to get down the Castro district.
Hello, San Francisco, where it looks like the Patriots are going to be playing in the Super Bowl.
You'll jinx it, Fred. Don't say stuff like that.
Well, I do have a lot of power in the universe. There's no question. My magical thinking goes a very long way. That's why I'm here in the mornings.
Fred, hello.
All magical thinking. But we will be back tomorrow.
I just love it.
I know, we do too. And that means Hardy is only 3 days more of radio until he's off to the 7 Seas for his other radio job, which is with the Lithium channel on Sirius XM radio.
Unreal.
Yeah, well, no one thought the Pats were going to be in the AFC Championship when I agreed to this last May.
So that's the 90s channel, right? Is Lithium?
No. Well, 90s alternative and grunge, but then there is a 90s channel, the 90s on
Yeah, but wouldn't you be more like you should be on the 2000s channel? Like if there was 2000 alternative.
No.
Oh, you worked in radio in the 90s?
My first full-time job at an alternative rock station was in 1994, February of 94.
Oh.
Well, coming up, a full-time radio guy for over 32 years next month.
I got my job as the receptionist part-time air talent at 99X in late 99. So I couldn't be on a 90s alternative station because I wouldn't know which way is up.
Well, but even in the 2000s, we were still playing mostly 90s stuff.
Yeah, but we were rocking and rolling. We were going into that. Someone sent me a like Springfield, Massachusetts alternative rock playlist, and was it bad?
Really?
Yeah, the music around 2004, Hachi Machi. You want to talk about the death of radio? You could have seen rock radio dying right in front of you. Just look at that playlist. It's objectively all garbage. Like, because even the non-nu metal stuff is like a random Dido song. All right, that'll do it for